There we go. There we go. There we go. Guys, so what are you playing now? What are you playing right now? What are you guys playing today?
Dude, I'm actually on a few things right now.
Yeah.
I've been grinding out Dead Space, bro.
Yeah, I've been playing Dead Space, Starfield. I started playing The Front as well, and every once in a while and I started up on the Spider-Man series because Spider-Man is now coming to Spider-Man 2 is coming for the PC.
There's a lot of good stuff coming out.
Yeah,
good series, by the way.
Yeah, so I just finished one. I'm actually I'm not trying to 100% it. I'm just trying to get all of the suits, which basically means I kind of have to 100% everything. And then I'm gonna start up on then I have to start up on Miles Morales.
Straight. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yeah.
And what is up? Welcome back. It's Sunday night. You're here with the Average Boys podcast. And as you can see, the Trinity is here, dude. All three of us are in the same podcast. We're back to normal. I feel like we're back. We're back, baby. We got Brian back. Triggs is here. I'm here. But I'm always here. I'm always here, guys. It's my other two boys that I never get to see. In fact, Brian, time to shine, baby. Like, I feel like I haven't seen you, like I said, like in a month, dude. In a whole fucking month. Tell me what's up, bro. Tell me what's up.
Dude, it's been great to be back. As you know, we have our conversations behind the scenes. Listen, dude, I love being on this show. It just sucks that, I had to work on my Sundays when we changed to Sundays. But listen, no more Sundays. I'm here. Talk about this nerd shit. Glad to have everyone back in the building. Glad to see Triggs back on. Listen, man, let's get it. Let's get it.
Brian, you know what? I'm gonna give you a shout out, bro. Like a hard shout out. I appreciate you so much.
All right.
Because like, no matter what, like there's like, sometimes Sundays you don't get to come because you go to work. But like Wednesday, Thursday comes along and I always get like a special phone call and it's Brian. He's like, "What's up? I want to hear from you." I just gotta give you a shout out, bro. That's like the most coolest shit. Cause like, I don't know, like I don't know if you guys are kind of like in the same format, but like I find myself just chilling at home a lot nowadays. Like I'm not really going out so much. I'm not really like, I do my stuff with my team and my gym. And then like, I just go home and I just do nothing, man. And I find myself kind of isolated a lot. And I don't know. It just feels fucking, I appreciate you, bro. I really, really do for hitting me up all the time like that. It makes me feel super good and loved, man. I got to say thank you. Thank you, Brian.
To that, I just want to piggyback off of that. Listen, I've been on the show going on like almost like 2-3 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
three, I believe 3 now. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So I've been here for a while. So like not talking to, like I said, again, like I love being on the show. So I love chopping up with you guys and talking about, everything that we talk about. So when I don't get to do it, it's kind of a bummer for me. Right. So it's like, I definitely just reach out and say, "What's up, Triggs?" If I had your number, if I knew that you were, weren't working, I'll reach out to you too. I tell Chris, I love when Triggs is on the show. Love to have you on, bro. Like, yeah, man, I love the shit.
Dude, I'm saying, dude. I'll peep you my number later, man. I got you.
Vince, what's up? Danny, what's up? Good to see you. And Barbara Caballero, thank you for coming in and says options on Dr. Stone. Great anime. I think it's a dope. I haven't seen the new season.
I love that anime, dude. I love that anime. I'm so about it.
Triggs loves that anime.
Triggs loves it.
No, dude, I find
loves that anime.
Such an original premise. Such an like, oh my god, and like that cast has been fucking everywhere, dude. I do not get me started. I will fucking take the whole show for Dr. Stone.
Barbara, please do not get Triggs started.
Yeah, don't do it. You don't want it.
That's like, I forgot. I was watching this dude talk about. There's this guy that does podcasting, but he talks about like the conspiracy shit, tinfoil hats, boys. the Anunnaki and the Sumerian stuff, and like
oh, dude, honestly, that's probably the only conspiracy theory
yeah,
I'm
it's
about.
dope, dude. He's like where like humanity traveled from the stars and came to Earth, and it's all in Texas and stuff.
How cuneiform is the ancient language. Yeah, dude, no, I'm about it, dude.
He has the coolest thing where he says like someone will ask him something and he'll go like on a small tangent and then he'll say, "But that's a whole podcast all on its own." Like, and that's right. Like right now, the Dr. Stone thing was like Triggs is like, "I love that shit, but that's a whole podcast all on its own." Like that,
dude. It is somewhere. Like, dude. So, like little 2-minute rant, right? Super original premise. Yeah, super original premise. Like the whole world, like the entire population of Earth gets turned into stone, right? Mm-hmm. And so they're turned into stone for 3,700 years. Mm-hmm. And over the course of time, only like a couple of them are like cracked, and like one of them that's cracked is a scientist. So he's trying to find a way to he's trying to find out why it happened, how it happened, and then bring everyone back. And like that's the whole thing. But he uses science to do that. But he finds out that there are people who are still alive and who aren't stone. So like he's constantly getting into fights with them and like tries to use his wits. And then like, dude, it's real science, like they implement real science.
Yeah. So like
it's 100% like a super. It's one of those things that like you watch it and you're like, huh, I wonder. It's almost like Mythbusters, but funner.
Yeah, but an anime. It's so crazy. Like us, all three of us, we've been kind of like fascinated with storytelling, comic books, video games, and all that stuff. Can you imagine the drugs you got to be fucking doing to be like, yo, it'd be fucking crazy if everybody just got turned to like gargoyles one day, and one scientist wakes up and tries to unlock the fucking the
dude.
Unlock everything.
Don't even get me started because like honestly, like some fucking Japanese guy was just like,
yeah, just railing coke, dude.
Let me tell you what, bro. Let me tell you what. The world, stone.
Everybody's stone. Railing coke.
One kid wakes up, wants to revive the whole world.
Yeah, and he's real smart.
Yeah.
He's real.
And he's really smart. Yeah.
He's real smart. Rubbing it in his teeth.
Yeah. For the nummies, bro.
Brian, Brian looks like he's like, I don't know what the.
He's like, you guys are on something else.
No, I'm just thinking because coke won't do that to you. That's more like shrooms or maybe like weed.
Hey man, I had some really, really good ideas on coke. They weren't great, but they were good.
I was like straight up intervention right now. Goddamn. The guy just comes out and just admits it and shit on national fucking on the internet and shit. You know what though?
I was a bartender, man. I was a bartender in the Valley.
Speaking of like I guess like barbiturates and mushrooms and all that stuff, right? I want to be real scientific when I said barbiturates. Have you guys ever seen those YouTube channels where people are like, yo, I'm just going to do a bunch of mushrooms and you guys watch me and how I react, and then they try to give you like a review on it? You guys ever see these videos?
No.
Dude, I just opened up a whole new YouTube channel for you guys, dude.
But that's a podcast all in itself.
Yeah, there's like, I saw this dude that was like, oh, today we're gonna try Derpy. Hey, what's up, man? Yes. He's like, yes, I have.
I am that YouTube channel.
There's literally like a whole YouTube channel where the guy comes in and he's like, hey, I'm gonna do kratom and kava, and then he's like, the Mario mushroom, like the actual mushroom that the Mario Brothers mushroom is based on. And this guy, like, he fucking makes his shit and then drinks it, and he just sits there and he's like 30 minutes later, and he's just, yeah, man. It's the weirdest shit, but interesting. I like to watch it because it's just interesting. So the reason why is because when I was in Florida for the fights, there were places all over the place with like kratom. And Brian, you live in Jersey. Like, is any of that like the smoke shops and stuff? Do anybody like sell kratom? Do they have like the CBD places that do like some type of like the kratom or kava?
No,
not at all.
Around here, we don't really dabble in that. We got our own shit out here.
You're like, we got real shit. We got real shit. We need that fucking.
Yeah, man, it's coming off the coastline for you guys, man. That's like a 3-hour drive to the coast for you guys.
Right off the boat.
Straight right off the boat.
Calm down, dude. No, dude, it's true. I mean, like, I mean, like he's basically us to like their drug.
So
like we're
so
right
I don't,
across the border. I mean, he's right off the boat.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but there was a big union strike about a
Yeah,
few weeks
Yeah.
I
ago.
heard that like they locked down hard or
Yeah,
something like that.
so where I live in New Jersey, but I have the Elizabeth Seaport, which is 20 minutes from my house. A lot of imports come in through there. Also New
Mhm.
York, which is like another half hour from me. So yeah, I'm right on the coast. Like and I'm surrounded by water basically. I'm maybe like 20 minutes, 30 minutes from the shore. So like the Jersey Shore, that show that you guys watched, that's like 30 minutes from my house. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of crazy, bro.
That's kind of wild. That's like the party life kind of area, or what?
Yeah, I mean,
Is
when
it
you're
as crazy
younger,
as it
when you're
As
is
this
it
show.
as
when you're younger,
crazy?
it's crazier. Like whatever you saw on TV, it's a lot crazier than that. The Jersey Shore is it's kind of wild. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Like dudes punching Snookies in the face and shit.
I went to what is this, South Padre Island that you guys have
Yeah,
over
Yeah.
yeah,
there?
yeah.
It's like it's kind of like that, but like on crack.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty chill out here. It's just a bunch of like winter Texans and like
Yeah, right
maybe people
now
from the next.
during this like season right now, like the winter fall seasons, it's nothing but winter Texans. Like you're gonna have a bunch of old fogies who are drinking like
Just on vacation and
yeah.
dropping bills, baby.
yeah, dude, that's all they do, right? And they're gonna pay with nothing but hundreds.
Look at
Like,
look
dude, yeah,
at
dude, these
Danny.
guys are gonna do.
There we
Danny,
go.
yeah,
Danny.
There we go.
Look at the
I
question.
have not no, whatchamacallit, but yeah, dude, these people are dropping hundreds,
Yeah.
dude.
Winter
But
Texans are crazy.
yeah, they're also a bit much.
Yeah,
They're a
yeah,
bit
yeah. They're
much.
assholes sometimes. But yeah, straight up. Actually, as a matter of fact, Danny, I haven't seen it, but Brian being huge on the Dragon Ball world, like this dude's about it. Like you're caught up on
Dude, he
Dynamite.
has the time. Yeah, he's been watching everything. He's more caught up on everything than we are.
Yeah, he's more caught up than we are. But
So
Brian,
we
how
were
have you been
talking.
liking?
I was gonna say we were talking about it, and I'm gonna cut you off, sir.
Mhm.
We were talking about it in pre-production
Mhm.
over the things that we were gonna talk about, and yes, I brought up Dragon Ball Daima, and I'm caught up. And again, coming off of Super,
Everything.
yeah, coming off of Super, I was kind of wishing that we would get like an extension of Super. So when I heard what this shit was gonna be about, I wasn't really anticipating much, or wasn't like having my like I didn't get my hopes up too much about it.
Just like
But after watching the first episode, I'm like, all right, I see where you guys are going. The animation is, by the way, is
Phenomenal.
fucking
It
great.
looks.
It's really good. It's really
Yeah.
good. That alone bought them another episode for me. And then I watched the second episode, and it's good, man. It's good. I see where they're going. Um, I'm invested. But again, I feel like the floor can fall out really quickly. But as of right now, dude, I'm into it. So Danny, I'm enjoying it. I mean, if you're still listening, let me know how you like it. Anybody else that's in the chat, if you guys are watching it, I want to know how you guys feel about it. But I'm enjoying it. It's not a waste of time, which I thought it would have been.
Brian, when you first saw it and when it was coming out, were you getting like the GT vibes? Is that was kind of giving you like nah, here we go again kind of thing?
So not to spoil it, but it's basically just hijacking GT. Basically,
Really? Okay.
it just hijacks it.
That's
Basically,
kind of what I thought, but like I didn't want to make that a like direct like comparison because like yeah, it seemed like it was GT, but like on like a Earth scale, like everybody got turned into a kid.
yeah, it's like right after the Boo saga happens, it's kind of like a reset. Like right after the Boo saga happens, there's a reset. I don't want to give away the story.
Yeah.
The story itself is kind of weak, but it's Dragon Ball, right? So you don't really need a strong story for Dragon Ball. Like it's
you just need action, man.
You just need action. So the story isn't really the strong point there, but again, the animation, you know, the vision of where they want to go, and they have a lot of callbacks to the original. And you know, it's funny because along with all the other shit that I've been watching, I've been also watching. I went back to the old school Dragon Ball and watching that. There's a lot of callbacks to the original Dragon Ball series too.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, bro. Like that
Well,
as
Do
a
you think?
fan.
Do you think they're doing that because of the late
Akira
Akira
Toriyama?
Toriyama?
Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking that he was kind of upset about GT, so he wanted to give the fans something of him, you know, his vision of what that
Of what could have been.
era should have looked like. So
Yeah.
yeah, and of course, like GT is kind of like its own thing, right? It's like its own story. It
It's not
doesn't really
canon. Yeah.
it's not canon. It doesn't really connect to anything else. So I guess he's going back and saying, hey, this era which doesn't have any continuity to anything else, let's attach it to Dragon Ball Z, um Super, and he's connecting everything together. So yeah.
Dope, dope, dope. But you know what? I've always felt like Dragon Ball has kind of done that, right? Because they had the OVA movies, the real big badass movies, and then the show always kind of like followed into them, kind of like, I don't know how to explain that. Like the BoJack series, there was like the movie, and then it kind of like correlated with something else in the series, like the Cooler series, which like a lot of people kind of feel like is a canon, but the series always made it feel uncanon. Like, you know what I mean? Like it kind of always felt that format, and I mean, GT has always been this like mark on its history, right? Some liked it, some didn't like it. Later on, when they introduced the Beba saga and the evil Dragon Balls, the 7 Kai, or the evil ones, like that's when it got a little bit more better, I feel. And of course, everybody takes the Super Saiyan 4 unlocks like as something that's like, yo, that's peak. Dragon Ball in the original, and then of course it got retconned. Then Super came out, and then the whole Tournament of Power kind of like overlapped over the GT series. But then they had like that video game that kind of like brought it all together. And
Superheroes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like a time traveling one, right? Or like a universe one.
So there's all right. So there's like the card game that they had, which was like Dragon Ball Super, or like Dragon Ball Heroes Super, and that was like a Japanese card game where like every universe is canon. And like they have like if you like go onto like the wiki or something like that, yeah, and then there's Kai, like there's so many different like Dragon Ball like universes, I guess, that it actually does now, like in the video games, still like have its own multiverse, like its own omniverse, because like you have like the Dragon Ball Super multiverse, and then you have like the Zeno like Dragon Ball universe, and then you have the universe that like Goku Black came from, then you have the GT universe, and then you have like Trunks's universe, and then like all of those are separate like timelines / universes. And
crazy too, because Brian, like in your series, like you're a huge fan of this, right?
Yeah.
And in the Tournament of Power, it all dealt with like all the different multiverses and all the different realms, right? And none of those are ever referenced. Am I kind of off on that?
No, they weren't referenced in any other saga or anything like that.
It's kind of weird, right?
It was weird. I don't want to say weird. I want to say that it was just where they led us, and then they fucking executed. Like they executed the fuck out of it. Like as a point, like it is what it is. We have these different universes. We're all just watching them duke it out, and it was, to me, the best Dragon Ball that I've ever.
Yeah, Power was dope, dude. The Power tournament with Jiren was like fucking hype, dude.
Oh, dude, that was. I mean, the UI. His first UI broke the internet. And his mastered UI pretty much did the same thing again. And I mean, those were just beyond fantastic episodes. And then
it's
everything
debatable. It's debatable if that was mastered, but whatever.
Brian's like, I don't know. We have discussions about this in my other chat.
I've been letting Tricks cook, but I don't know about that one. But it's good. I got it.
What's like?
You don't think he's mastered UI yet?
He has now, but in the Tournament of Power, he didn't ever.
Yeah, he was barely unlocking it when he was fighting Jiren, wasn't it?
Yeah, he
was just peeking at that. He was just barely locking.
He unlocked it. He unlocked it twice, and he didn't master it because the second time that it happened, it damn near killed him. And that kind of he had Jiren dead to rights, and because he didn't master it, he ran out of time basically. it basically just exited his body and split his body in half. And yeah, I'm more interested in the manga because the manga came back, and
Oh,
I'm super interested in that. We were talking about it in pre-production about
Manga's back. I've
Yeah.
actually been reading the manga.
We were talking about the Sparking Zero
Mhm.
game, and I wish they had more manga characters in it. My favorite manga character as of right now is Black Frieza, and if he was in that game,
I want to see more of him, dude. I
Yeah,
want to know what's going
if he
on with
was
him.
if he was in that game, like that would
He's
be
slapping
my
everybody.
main. That would be my main.
Oh,
Like, I don't care how
Yeah.
much he costs. I don't care how much. I would. That would be my main because I'm a big Frieza fan. I get shit about it all the time. I'm a big Frieza fan, and Frieza Black is he's
Derpy Entertainment asks Brian, "Is that just a hat?"
what do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know what he has. Is he,
Yeah,
asking
yeah.
about is he asking about the Yankees? Did the Yankees do good today, or they do bad, or what is it?
The Yankees in a World Series, but I don't like. I'm not a Yankees fan, so I don't care.
No. Okay, so let me ask you. Okay, so we're gonna go with Trigger on this one first, because me
Lit.
and Triggs, I would kind of consider us more casuals at Dragon Ball Z than Brian. Brian's your.
I'm like a step above casual.
I was gonna say
Like,
Trigger's
I-
not casual.
LA Dodgers.
Yeah, I was about to be like, I'm like step
above.
above casual. I really enjoy the Dragon Balls like saga and series as a whole because Dragon Ball is really what got me into anime. Like,
Okay,
'cause,
so
like,
what I want to ask, I'll go first because I'm a casual. Like I only know a little bit. I only know I'm an Adult Swim Toonami Dragon Ball fan. So like I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not like you guys are like really invested nowadays. Where like I was invested like back in the day during like the Frieza saga and that's I didn't even really get into the Baby saga too much, or not the Baby, but what's his name? Boo, the Boo saga. I didn't even finish out the Boo saga. I just got up to the Vegeta part and then ended.
That's unfortunate. The Buu saga is my favorite saga.
It's like the best
dude,
saga. Yeah,
I get shit
honestly,
about that.
honestly, for me, it was Cell. I thought there was a lot of.
Cell, but I like the Buu saga more than Cell.
So
Kid
we're
Buu
going to
is
talk about
the man.
Oh, I'm sorry. The most pinnacle part. We're going to talk about the most pinnacle scene in Dragon Ball to us, to each of us individually. So for me, I would say the fight at the Power Saga or the Power Tournament with when Frieza and Goku fought together against Jiren. I think that was.
I have that picture right in back.
Yeah. I was like, I think that was peak for me. Like I was like, holy fuck. I would have never assumed that would happen in Dragon Ball history, where these two would be like partnered up, like fighting against someone. So that was peak for me. Triggs, what about you? What's your peak Dragon Ball moment from beginning to end, wherever you're at in the series right now? That's as far as I got. So
I have a little. I mean, I'm not gonna say like my favorite of all time or like peak of all time because I have a few that I have where I'm like, fuck, like one of the biggest ones for me is, and probably one of the ones that hits the most is where Vegeta finally admits that Goku was better than him. Where he finally admits that Goku was better, and I think it was right before he dies. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, there was when Vegeta finally admits that Goku was better because Goku had more to fight for.
wasn't that the Frieza movie?
I don't know if it was
or the Cooler movie, wasn't it?
No.
Yeah, because he goes and takes Vegeta out of hell and he doesn't have a body. And then he has to like take him back and he has to leave him in hell and he doesn't get his body back. And
but there's that. And then there's also then there's the actual Vegeta Death series where he like kind of admits to himself that like he really does love Trunks and loves Bulma, and like it was like for me it was like a really wholesome like character development like moment for Vegeta.
You're a Vegeta guy?
No, I'm actually not. I think he's very like sometimes, but I love Chris Sabat. Chris Sabat fucking slaps in everything that he's in.
The voice actor.
And also my favorite voice actor was Vegeta for a little bit, Mr. Kaiji Tang. He was also Vegeta for a little bit. And then like to me, I think one of my funniest and like also one of my most beloved is when Frieza's getting the ever living fuck beaten out of him by Broly. just getting the ever living
railed by
piss beaten
Broly,
out of
dude?
him. Oh yeah, dude. That 1 hour that he's just getting the shit kicked out of him, to me was just like, fuck you, Frieza. Yeah.
Brian, I gotta ask you now, man, because you're the man. You're the man right now with the Dragon
I
Ball.
got a few, dude. There's
See, that's why, dude. I'm like, bro. It's not just one. Like, there's gonna be several.
So to piggyback off of a Triggs, if you want to go to that movie, the best part of that movie was when they broke the fucking dimension. They were fighting in
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, Broly and him.
yeah,
They
bro.
punch each other and it's like cracking the fucking space time continuum.
Bro,
That was
yeah.
wild
bro,
as
are
shit,
you
dude.
fucking kidding me? That's
Hulk level strength.
Yeah,
that's
that
Hulk
was-
level
Bro,
strength.
that's beyond
great.
anything strength, dude. That's
Yeah,
wild as shit. Even in
That
the
was
anime,
great.
like they're hitting each other, and I forget if it's Broly that's like, "What the fuck," or Goku's like, "What the fuck is going on?" while they're hitting each other. Like he doesn't even know what the fuck the artist is making. It's
Yeah,
so
it was-
wild, dude. That was
it
cool
was-
as shit, though.
I think it was Gogeta actually. I think it was Gogeta, and
It is.
It was Gogeta and it was Broly, and they just broke the fucking dimension, bro. And they were fighting
Yeah.
in different dimensions. That's not a top one for me, but just out of that movie, that to me was peak.
Plus,
I'm
dude,
not
that's Heart of the Monster Hulk. That's like
Yeah.
the only Hulk that's ever literally punched reality so
Yeah, punch
hard
reality.
that he
Oh.
broke
Like,
it.
time, baby.
I'm not a big Vegeta fan, but Majin Vegeta that's
Oh,
iconic.
man, dude.
That's iconic. I actually liked the original Dragon Ball Z, the Goku when he first turned Super Saiyan 1.
Yep.
I didn't want to say that because I felt that was a bit of a cop out.
Yeah, but it's peak. Like that,
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
that marks like that's like a timestamp in time for me.
Mhm.
Like
I think that moment is as old as I am. I think that came out in '89.
I was gonna
But
say that's older than. Well, yeah, that's
No,
older, but I was a kid when I wasn't
Yeah.
even watching TV as much when that came out. But
yeah, I was about to say it was like
That-
when it first aired. I believe it was in '89. Like, so I'm about as old as that transformation.
Future Trunks beating Frieza is
Oh.
is one for
Yeah,
me.
that's a good one. Yeah, that is a good one.
Gohan
And no dipping.
yeah,
Frieza.
Gohan and Cell is another one for me.
So you're more of the old school kind of like the historical moments in Dragon Ball Z history.
Not even because I think that Super is better than all that shit.
Really?
Super is better than all that shit. And the Tournament of Power to me is the best saga of Dragon Ball. I don't think it gets
Yeah.
better than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
My
like,
favorite
I-
moment, my favorite moment, and this is kind of this is stupid because this is just my favorite fucking
Oh, it's not stupid. It's good.
comment.
Man.
But when Goku slides on fucking
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
On Khalifa or
Khalif's fucking
Khalifa or whatever.
bro, are you kidding me, bro? Are you telling me that there's better anime than that, bro? Like, are
There's
you
not.
kidding
There's
me,
not.
bro? I'm sorry. Like, I know you guys are like anime like geeks and nerds, but come the fuck on, bro.
No, that was
Are you
the
kidding me?
dopest shit in anime history, bro.
If I watch that right now, I'll get goosebumps right now watching.
You know what
I
that
was
was?
talking about it.
That was the Dragon Ball studio and the artist realizing what we've always said is like, why are you just waiting on these dudes to scream and power up and all that? That's Eren Yeager punching the Bone Titan when she's like screaming in the middle of the fucking city hall.
You know, it was super funny. I saw a TikTok. I saw a TikTok not too long ago about that scene, and it was just like when Eren Yeager was the first person to break the rules in
break the rules of
anime.
anime, yeah.
To break the rules of anime and just punch them mid transformation. They're like, "Yep, you're done with that."
Yeah, he wasn't having any of that shit. He was like,
"You're done."
yeah, that was like that was the whole thing about the Khalif thing. Also, is like just her powering up and all this stuff, and Goku's like dodging shit. Like he's like fucking instant transmission. Like it was the wildest thing. And then he blasts her like right fucking face
He
up.
went, and it's fucked up because he went UI on her, bro. That was fucked up. Like
Oh,
he,
yeah.
went, he went Ultra Instinct on her ass, bro, and she was just realizing how to become a fucking Saiyan. And he just
Super
went
Saiyan?
he just went Ultra Instinct and just fucked her up. Vince, to answer your question, I think this is like a known thing. I don't like Vegeta, bro. Vegeta,
yeah, I remember you have like a whole thing about it.
I don't like him. I think
That's a
he's
whole
only, like,
podcast in itself.
Yeah, that's a whole podcast, a whole other podcast.
it's a whole
I'm a
podcast.
Vegeta guy, dude. I think Vegeta's dope, but I mean,
He's a bitch.
I don't think he's like the
Thank
biggest
you,
hero.
dude. Thank you.
And I just think that he's underutilized in the story a little bit.
I think
like, I
you're
hated
completely
GTA.
incorrect.
I fuck GTA.
I think you're entirely incorrect
Yeah,
because he
No.
plays a big part in a lot of pivotal moments.
He's not underutilized. It's just that he's just always second fiddle. I mean, the only person that can get the underutilized moniker,
Gohan.
if you want to go there, is Gohan. He's
Yeah.
the only one that you could say is underutilized. But other than that, everyone else is utilized to where they should be. And
Well, and it's not even that, dude. They like completely wrote out his potential. Like that to me, because I've always been a huge Gohan fan. Always been a huge Gohan fan. And the fact that they like made him potentially
a bitch.
way more powerful, like than like
No, he
his
is.
dad.
No, in canon, he, as of right now, where it stands in the Dragon Ball series itself, Gohan and Piccolo
Are now stronger.
are both stronger or just as strong as Goku and Vegeta,
Goku UI.
which makes no fucking sense to
No
me
sense.
at all.
Yeah, where's Tien and Yamcha's glow up, dude?
Well, fuck them.
Fuck
but
'em.
it does. Yeah, fuck them.
I have to
But
say,
it
dude,
doesn't-
I hope someone clips that, dude. I hope someone clips that.
like if you
I
wanted
hope
to,
someone clips that.
like if you wanted to make Gohan stronger than him out of nowhere, I think there was a better way of doing it. But okay, I guess I get it. But Piccolo, oh man, that kind of fucks me up a little bit, bro.
Yo, out of all the fucking like the C class characters, which one would you like? Which one would you glow up in a heartbeat if you had the chance?
Tien.
That's a good call. Tien's dope.
And I can't even call. I personally couldn't call Krillin C class because like he's like low B, just about to hit C. But yeah, I'd have to say Tien.
Yo, man, I don't know. After watching a bunch of Zero clips, dude, I want Chao Tzu to come in and just like Chucky a lot of motherfuckers, man.
Yeah, but that wouldn't even make any sense. Like that like he is what he's supposed to be. He's just that behind the
He's token
scenes
relief, dude.
character. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it is what it is. But I mean, listen, if I can glow anybody up, I think anyone that deserves to be
Mm-hmm.
glowed up is Krillin, bro. Like I feel sorry for that guy.
Yeah,
that
of course.
That guy's a cuck, bro.
He's a
and
ride or die, man. He's a ride or
Yeah.
die, man. He's always
a
ride or
cuck,
die.
bro. But he did bag fucking 17, so
17. Yeah.
18.
18, my
Yeah.
fault. He did bag
Yeah.
18, so I mean,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
doing something
he's-
right, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the Riz, man. And not only that, I mean, if you think about it, Yajirobe cut the tail off of Vegeta in the old school series, which puts him
And
up
made
there
him a
also, man.
bitch.
I was gonna say him, but I was like, you know what? Nah, I gotta go with my boy Krillin, bro.
Yeah,
I gotta
Krillin
go.
he deserves it. Like him and Tien. I mean, I would say Yamcha just because Yamcha's a fucking joke.
Yamcha's a
But-
bitch, bro.
Yeah, he's a cuck. That's the cuck, dude.
He would have had if Vegeta would have had he would have had to just show me, bro. Like we had to fight.
Yep. It's one of those things. I think Tien. I think I would agree with Triggs on that. I love Tien. I think Tien is a great character. I think one of the coolest moments is when he's fucking when he's staggering Cell, the imperfect Cell,
Mhm.
and he keeps popping him into the pit and stuff. I thought that was dope, but of course he was like killing him or something like that. I was like, man, this guy deserves some shit. And like the whole thing about him having like that eyeball on his head, like you could have ran that shit like he was from an alien race. And they have a whole like Piccolo kind of thing because he's the only dude with another eyeball on his forehead. Like they could have ran it. That would have
You know
been
what's
dope.
funny? You know what's funny is that before we even jumped on, I was like, yo, let's try to wrap things up in like 10, 15 minutes. This isn't even a topic, and we've been
This was
talking
Dragon
about
Ball
this
Z
shit
wasn't
for-
even talking. It was a video game.
and it was like
It was a
fucking
video game
30
talk.
minutes, so-
Boys, onwards into the conversation that we're gonna have. I want to let people know if you are like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of
See,
guy.
this is what I didn't want to happen with Dr. Stone. Just saying.
Hey,
'Cause
but
this,
Dragon Ball Z-
I would have done this to Dr. Stone.
But there's talks, dude. It's because fucking 0 Point just landed or whatever, and everyone's playing Dragon Ball Z right now, dude. It's back on the menu, boys.
and
That's what it
and
is.
Dama, and they have a brand new series out too.
Yeah,
so
that-
like it's
It's perfect
Dragon Ball
opportunity
heavy
to
right
talk
now,
about,
bro.
man. It's love, dude. Dragon Ball's so great, dude. Speaking of series and a comeback. Vox Machina, if anybody's out there that's Dungeons and Dragons fan, Amazon Prime, Vox Machina's back, season 3. They dropped 3 episodes. Not too bad, not too shabby, pretty fun. If you haven't seen it, it's kind of worth the watch. It's very much like The Boys meets Dungeons and Dragons, so it is a little adult, so just be prepared. But if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Kind of fun. Guys, let's talk about it. This week is almost like a celebration for nerds. It's New York Comic Con week, right? We just had New York Comic Con just popping off right now.
Shit, I heard it's fight week over at Comic Con.
Brawler on a budget.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of situations that have happened at our New York Comic Con. Not as spectacular yet as the climb of San Diego Comic Con with the child kidnappings and all this other weird shit that was going on at that one. But New York Comic Con has its situations, but some cool news has popped off and stuff like that. Brian, you're the one that's been caught up on New York Comic Con pretty well. What have you heard that are the good things, man?
So I actually have a lot of friends that went to New York Comic Con, and I had no idea. People that I didn't even know were into the Comic Con scene. There were a lot of good fucking stands out there. Specifically, I don't know if you guys are into like Ninja Turtles and shit like that, but like I saw a lot of Ninja Turtle shit, and there were like this big ass Ninja Turtle display of like the figs that are coming out next year, bro. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are gonna be broke. Like people are gonna be broke next year, bro.
They're dropping some badass shit.
They're dropping,
bro. 2025 in general is gonna be heavy for nerds and stuff like that. Amazing games, movies, just all kinds of medium for next year is gonna be fucking huge, dude. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah, and then on top of that, like the new 50 series is coming out supposedly next year as well. So like, yet again, you're not wrong. People gonna be broke.
Yeah, broke. But yeah, so New York Comic Con's got some pretty interesting things. I saw that they did a Creature Commando trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta see the Creature Commando. Did you guys get to check that out or no?
I did.
Yeah. What'd you guys think? Triggs, what about you? Did you get to see it?
I actually haven't, man. Mostly because I don't give a fuck.
Okay, that's pretty good. All right, man. Shit, straight on.
No, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, dude. I don't give a shit. But I mean, dude, if you guys like it, I'll give it a peep, dude. Like I'm never gonna shy away from anything that you guys recommend to me because the three of us have a very, very similar taste in what we like. As far as like TV shows, comics, games, all those things. So if you guys recommend it, I'll give it a watch. If you guys are like, this is trash, I'll be like, okay, I'll wait till I can just see it online or something.
Brian, so what did you think of Creature Commando? What did you think of the trailer?
I think that it's not gonna pique my interest at all.
Okay, that's a solid recommendation for me.
Yeah,
I mean, the only thing that I would give it is that it's a DC animated series or a film, and DC animated series has never really like dropped the ball that much.
Yeah,
like
to me, the only one that the Infinite Crisis series, I'm not gonna lie, was a little bit lackluster animation wise. I thought the story was amazing. I thought the animation to me was a little bit lackluster.
I'll agree with that. Yeah, I'll agree with that. But the thing is, I need something to attract me, right? I need something to attract me to a team up. There's no one that attracts me. Like who's the glue here? Like normally, if it was Suicide Squad, you would have
Deadshot or
Deadshot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be anybody for any individual. But for this team up, there's no glue. I think it's like Clayface is like the biggest name.
A Weasel. I mean, Weasel came out in the Suicide Squad with James Gunn. Again, I think he's only putting that up because it's his brother and he's just trying to kiss ass or whatever.
Right. Fuck. That kind of just helps my argument. Like, there's no one there that is gonna spark your interest in watching this. So, this is gonna be something that I'm gonna have to wait for people to watch first, and then I'll watch it. I'm not.
Yeah. Derpy says he loved it. He says it's probably because we're biased towards Marvel movies. Actually, we're not. We're very critical.
Yeah, I'd have to very much disagree with that.
And just to load on that too, DC's been shit on for a long time, man. The only thing they've been getting right is the animated series.
I was gonna say the only thing that we've all agreed upon is that DC does make some good animation. Like, so.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I really feel like they're kind of like the Sony right now, like of like their respective like universe. and
Yeah,
stuff
he's
like
talking
that
about.
because like Sony's animated films, like at least Spider animated films, are fucking do they slap? I mean, they're
Yeah,
huge.
yeah, the Spider Verse and shit.
But like DC's animated, like everything DC animated is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Young Justice, every single fucking DC animated movie that's pretty much ever came out
Yeah.
is always a bang. But yeah, dude, like I mean, they gotta fall short somewhere, and their live action movies kind of suck, but whatever.
No, I don't think we have a super chat option, Caesar. That would be dope. I don't even know what that means. You'd have to get
Right.
real critical about that. I'm not that smart at this stuff. We just put it down normal.
Super chat is when they pay for like $1 or $2 or however much they want, and it becomes.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, we're not monetized yet, man. We're not there, dude.
Yeah, but Caesar's my boy, man. That's the guy that I run the studio with. That's my boy, man, Caesar. It's good to see you, my man. Good to see you. But yeah, Derpy, it's not that we're biased towards Marvel. We're not biased towards any of them. We love them all. It's just DC sucks at making films. I mean, yeah, prove us wrong.
Can confirm.
Yeah, prove us wrong, Derpy. Marvel's shitting right now. We call their shit out all the time too, man. But yeah, straight up, I saw the trailer for Creature Commandos. It was okay. It kind of, like I said before, I think we've said this too in the chat, like in talking to each other, like James Gunn is one of those guys that likes to pull like the most like underknown groups of characters that a lot of people don't know and then build from there. That's what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy. That was like a shot in the dark and he was super highly successful with it. You take this ragtag of characters and you bring them together, like the Authority too. Like, I think James Gunn is going to shine pretty well on that stuff. But yeah, wasn't all that hyped about Creature Commando. Is all right. Like, I mean, I just looked at it like another animated series or whatever. But the one that really caught my eye, and I don't know if that was a part of San Diego Comic-Con, Brian, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but like they dropped that picture of Superman and Crypto, and guys, I don't know about you. That hit me right in the nostalgia berries, dude. Like I was super hyped about that picture.
So it wasn't San Diego Comic-Con, it was New York Comic-Con, and it wasn't. I think it dropped before. New York Comic-Con, which now that I'm thinking about it, it doesn't really make much sense why he would do that beforehand. Because you could have
done it there.
You just did there.
But he was hyped, dude. I was super hyped.
All right, let's get into it. What about that? And because Crypto is a relatively new character, right? So what about that?
No. Crypto's not. Crypto's been around for shit since the fucking Super Friends time. Super long time. It's like a super old character.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
What about the? I mean, but what I'm saying is he integral in any major arc? Anything special? Like what about this picture? What about this?
I know where you're going. I know what you mean. Like, okay, so like technically he's not like an intricate part of like Superman and like Doomsday and like all these big series. But you know that when you have Superman and Crypto put in something like this, it's gonna hit you. It's literally meant to show you on how down to earth and relative Superman can be as a human being, as like a person, because he has this dog. It has the same powers, super loving in the same way a human is with their dog. Crypto is a superhero also. It's not like the way The Rock in the movie is. Like, he is a dog. He does play fetch. He does do all this stuff. But like, I think it's more in the sense that it's showing you like how innocent, like the innocence of Superman is in that shot. That's a very, like, when you watch that, you think of the Silver Age comic book time. Like, you think of the time of like when it was like a Superman and Crypto going on their adventures and, fucking taking cats out of trees, or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just
Who
like,
the fuck wants to see that?
That is Superman. That is Superman 100%.
All right, listen. I get it, and I keep forgetting that you like that golden age comic book.
Yes, it is. It is the pinnacle of what superhero storytelling was.
Yeah, well, listen. All right, let's phrase it this way. Let's phrase it this way, because I feel myself getting amped up because that picture was some bullshit. But let me ask you this: that picture of Superman and Crypto on the moon looking at the Earth, does this entice you to want to see this movie more?
Yes.
Okay.
Was
Tricks.
it on the moon?
It was. Tricks, what about yourself?
I saw the picture and I was just like, cool. I know who Crypto is. I know what he does. I know what, like, I know about the character of Crypto, but to answer your question in the way that you phrased it, no, it does not make me want to see it more. I just want to see the movie regardless
In
because it's
general.
a Superman movie. Crypto has absolutely zero bearing on my want to see it, nor does he have any bearing on
Anything.
me, like on like
anything.
on anything. No, like yes, he has some bearing. He's played some part in some.
It doesn't
things,
even look like
but
Crypto.
like,
Yeah, he's not like he's supposed to be like a lab, isn't he? Like more like a Labrador than this whatever.
I can literally walk outside and go to New York and see this dog
Damn.
out on the street.
You're like sitting next to a guy at a liquor store or like some fucking dog that's hanging
I don't
out
like,
with,
you know what it is? You know what it is? I don't like the pandering.
yeah,
And
he is.
listen, yes,
He is a lab.
I am fully back, guys. I don't care if I'm the villain today, bro. But fuck this. James Gunn was pandering, bro. He was pandering. His movie right now, it has no legs. It has nothing to
zero
sell
legs,
it.
dude.
It has nothing to sell it. There's nothing that interests people to want to see this. So he's trying everything to get people to want to see this. Now he's going after the dog people, and he comboed this with that dumbass fucking tweet that he put out about where he got the inspiration of putting Crypto in this movie, and it was based on his adopted dog. I'm like, all right, bro, like give it a rest. Give it a rest, bro.
So you don't like this? This doesn't appeal to you guys as Superman fans? Or
I just see pandering. That's all I'm seeing. He's pandering.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I am. I've told people a million times before. I think Superman is a very intricate character to the comic book realm. I love the guy. I think he's necessary in the times even that we're at right now. That we need people that are icons that can help us be better people.
Chris, this is Superman, bro.
Yeah.
You don't need anything else. You don't need Crypto. You don't need fucking anything else.
But the thing is like, okay, culturally, the Superman character has a lot of family. That's his whole thing. Is he's like a family guy.
Okay.
So like he has just different things that are, I guess, based on the Atomic Family genre, that Kentucky vibe, that country living, and all of that stuff. You know, it works well when you apply him to it.
This looks like a thumbnail for a WB show.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, because that would be again another
speaking of you saying that, I'm super glad you said that. I'm actually looking forward to
Superman
watching. Yeah, Superman and Lois and I on this show. I'm sorry, this movie.
Yeah, and again, this movie has no legs. It has no legs. So he's trying everything he possibly can to get people to watch this.
Well, I mean, we talked about this the last time at LA Comic Con, didn't we? When I was like, "Yo, this guy needs to come with some shit." Like we've seen behind the scenes. No, I mean, again, this is something that we were talking about the last time, where it was like we saw the pictures of Superman in his costume from behind the scenes stuff. We saw the Guy Gardner, the Hawk Girl. We saw all those costumes, but like we haven't seen them really put anything together, like something to kind of like give us something.
I got derailed because I was just in full hater mode. So yeah, going back to the Comic-Con, James Gunn did say that on the panel that get forward to looking that a trailer will be dropping soon. I don't know. He didn't say specifically when, but he said that a trailer will be dropping soon. So to answer your question, he will be coming out with a trailer in the near future from what he's saying.
Are you by chance?
Hell no.
I was going to say, are you excited? And you already know what I was going to say. But you see, like, that's the thing, is you're already going into this with the idea of like, what's this guy going to fucking give us? We've seen the pictures. Like, it don't look good. It just looks like a bunch of people wearing silly ass outfits. You know what I mean?
I don't think Triggs was here when we actually had our conversation about the Superman suit. So Triggs, I want to get your feelings on what your thoughts are of the Superman suit specifically.
Let me check it out again because I haven't seen it.
I'll put it up.
So I'm on it.
Yeah. So a couple, I want to say about a month or two back, we got our first look at Superman.
Yeah, the dirty Superman suit. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, where he's like tying his shoe, whatever the fuck.
What was your initial thoughts when you saw that on Twitter or wherever you got a chance to see it?
Uh, I was kind of just like, there's too many folds in it.
Okay.
There's a lot of folds.
So
in
like
here.
so like it's loose. It was not
Yeah,
well fitting, right? It was
yeah,
ill fitting, as you will.
yeah. Like look at his armpits, dude. That's loose as fuck. Loose as fuck. Now, and I get it, dude. Right? That's the suit. No CG'd, no VFX, no nothing. Right? That is what he's wearing. Cool. You look at Henry Cavill's, bro.
And
It's
see,
some spandex.
that's what I'm
It's
saying. Like,
spandex.
when you're going, and I agree with you, Vince, with your last statement. When
Mhm.
you're going down the list of Superman suits, you got to come better than this, bro. This ain't it.
Yeah. Remember
And he's
that.
got
Especially
trunks
when you're
again.
looking
And
at
it's got trunks again.
And he's got trunks again.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's kind of a little weird. But yeah.
So again, what is attracting you to watch this movie? Like, I mean, he's first off, James Gunn is very active on Twitter, so he's heard all the backlash about this.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, he
And
responds to Blacklash.
he
He's like, "What's up,
responds.
motherfucker? Make a
He
movie then, bitch."
So when it comes to the whole crypto thing, I think that was to get people engaged, and I don't want to say forget about all the backlash he's gotten so far, but just get the dog people in, you know?
If there's one thing that I like about what James Gunn does, especially in this format, is he tries to get the characters as close to the comic as he can, right? You look at Mr. Terrific right there. That's
Mhm.
like 1-in-1, 100% right off the comic books. He looks fucking fantastic. If you look at Guy Gardner, if you look at Hawkeye or Hawk Girl or whoever the fuck that were coming out the last time, they all look great. They all look fantastic to the character, the way they should be on like in real life. But that was the same thing with Suicide Squad. He made all the characters look that way, and then he fucking tore into Mongol's wife or whatever, and all the other characters he kind of fucking
Made her like the hugest laughing stock.
Yeah, she was like super crazy. She's like this big character in the comics, super strong, very much like
dude, this girl could take like planet
Titania.
level, like
Yeah.
she could take like planet leveling, like
And she got killed by a fucking helicopter explosion or some shit, right? But like he does very well with the idea of staying close to the characters as they look in the comics. And if we're looking at Kingdom Come being one of the ideals, like these characters look great for what he's doing. But of course, like it's like Vince said, like the comic, the costume may look mid, but we have to wait until the movie comes out because it's how he decides to take care of the characters when he writes them. You know what I mean? Like, what if they end up being like, what if it's like The Boys, but it's all the Justice League characters? You know, what if it's over the top and they're fucking Batman's walking out with his dick swinging and fucking I don't know, Wonder Woman's banging Batman, or like they just do a bunch of risque shit and they take the characters that we know and love and they go in like some opposite weird direction for it. Like that's where my biggest fear is with James Gunn. I don't want him to pull I hate referencing it all over again, but like the Taika Waititi Thor Love and Thunder series where he just did whatever the fuck he wanted because he got the fucking opportunity to do whatever the fuck he wants with these characters.
Well, I'll say this right now. I know for sure he's not going to Taika Waititi this.
I hope
mostly because like he at least gives a fuck enough about the characters and the fact that he's running the show. Granted alongside somebody, but he is still nonetheless running the show. Taika kind of just got the shaft, and they were like, "Hey, like we're going to give you the reins on this, but we kind of want you to to frame it in this particular way." And he was kind of just like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself," and then totally fucked his movie up.
Yeah.
So just to kind of wrap up this DC part of Comic-Con, so there were a lot of things that were dropped for DC. Of course, like you said, the Creature Commandos dropped, the trailer dropped. There was an announcement of a new season of Peacemaker, which is going to drop soon. Obviously, we got the Superman announcement that there's going to be a trailer soon, and then Supergirl got a shout out, Woman of Tomorrow, which is going to be the second movie. And then the HBO Lanterns show was touched on, but the one thing that was glaring that was not talked about was the Batman movie that has supposed to be coming out right after this. I think a lot.
Is there like any development on that? Like,
I think it's very smart for him not to, because a lot is riding on this super. Listen, if he fucks this up, you might as well just throw it all away.
Might as well bring Matt Reeves in.
You might as well just throw it all away.
You mean
If he
Zack
fucks
Snyder?
up Superman.
Fuck it, get Zack Snyder back. Call him.
Can you imagine that shit if they brought Zack Snyder back after all this debauchery, dude?
I don't.
Dude, I would laugh.
There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell.
I would be about it, dude. Fuck it.
Some things, sometimes you just are. Some things are just too far gone. And if I were what the fuck is his name? You just said it.
Matt Reeves?
No,
Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder.
If I was Zack Snyder, bro, you would be backing up the Brinks truck in order for me to come back, which you guys aren't going to be doing. There's no money over there. They just lost. DC just lost a shit ton of money on Joker too.
Yep.
They're not gonna entertain that. There's just no fucking way.
What was your take on the Joker 2?
I didn't see it, but I mean, just from the numbers wise, if you want to jump into, into that, I mean, historically is one of the worst second week drop offs in movie history. And this is from a movie that had a budget of $200 million and it pulled in what 30 something.
Yeah, it went in the billions, wasn't it? In part one, remember the part one? It was astronomical, dude.
It was $1 billion movie. But this is an interesting point that somebody brought up, Josh from Den of Nerds, which I don't think anyone really talks about. Being that the first movie made and this is the Joker 2 movie we're talking about, guys. Mm-hmm. Being that the first movie made $1 billion and that this movie is going to take somewhere around their $3, $4, maybe even $5 million hit, $500 million hit. That doesn't make the profit from the first movie doesn't look that good anymore.
No,
because of the hit that you're taking on this one. And another interesting part is that Warner Brothers, usually when you're making a movie that's like $200 million, you have multiple people that come in, multiple companies and studios that come in to help pony up the money for this. Warner Brothers, they only had one backer for this movie because they were convinced this was going to be another $1 billion movie, because last time they made $1 billion, they made $1 billion. They had to split that like 6, 7, 8 different ways. Yeah. This time they decided that they were only going to take one backer, and the majority of the profit was going to come to them. The problem is that it shit the bed, and so now the loss is all you.
Yep, 100%. 100%.
That is insanity. That is crazy. Like, that is on some shit that will get people fired, bro. Like, you have to understand that you have investors to speak to about this at the end.
Yeah, they got to answer to.
Like, that is insane. So what are your thoughts about that? Like, just the fact that this movie had a budget this is just the budget. This is not the marketing that probably costs another millions of dollars. Just the marketing just the budget for this was $200 million. They're probably going to take hundreds of millions of dollars in loss on this. What are your thoughts about that?
For me, this is when directors drink their own Kool-Aid. This is 100% where the director says they want 100% control of their IP or whatever it is that they're doing, of an IP that they don't understand to begin with. I was not that big of a fan of the first movie, the Joker movie. I thought it was okay. I thought it was mediocre at best for the Joker. I think they could have done a lot more. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I know.
But then this guy came in and, like you said, he shit the bed in the second movie, and he was all like, dude, I got this. Music is a way a lot of crazy people can interpret and this and that, and Harley Quinn, and, we don't know if it's the Joker, but fucking Harley Quinn is right there, but we don't know if it's really the Joker. Might be, might not be. And it's just, in the second film, I don't know if you're familiar with kind of like what the story follows, but the story follows the idea that Harley Quinn is the mastermind behind everything. And that's already more than enough to be like, I thought this was a Joker movie. What does Harley Quinn have to do with anything? Why is Harley Quinn not even Harley Quinn from the comics? Or why is she closer to the comics than the actual character is?
Yeah, I have a question though. I'm never gonna see this movie.
Good. I wouldn't
Or
recommend
pay
it.
for it. But I have a question. Does he really get raped at the end of the movie?
No, he gets stabbed to death by another guy, and then the guy comes in and he gets shanked like a bunch of times, and then he goes into song and dance. I don't know why, but fuck it, I guess, right? The guy had one
Okay.
more chance, I guess. They had to meet a fucking dance quota. And then the guy in the background, since there's like a bokeh, which is like that swirl, kind of like real out of focus look in the back. You see the guy sitting down and he's laughing after he stabs the Joker to death, and then he takes the knife and he cuts like his mouth, like to have the smile. You don't really see it too much, and then people are like, "Oh, dude, that's got to be Heath Ledger's Joker," and it's like, dude, like you're fucking. Why are you doing this? Like, why did you make this movie? Now you got a bunch of people that are like the DC fanatics. People are gonna be like, dude, this is ideal what the Joker should be, and it's like, well, I beg to differ because regular people didn't even want to see the movie the second week,
And
much
that's
less the
and
fucking third week.
that
So you
is
have to acknowledge this guy, whoever the director, I don't even fuck to even know his name.
Todd Phillips.
Yeah, that guy. He has to be sitting in his room being like, you know what? Maybe I'm the problem. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe it's not the people that saw this that are just hating on me, but maybe I did make a shitty movie. Like maybe this is a bad movie. 90% drop off in the third week is like unheard of, dude. Unheard of.
I would quit being a director.
Right? There has to be like some statute of limitations to be like, man, I need to take more classes or watch more YouTube videos on how to make movies or whatever, because this is bad.
No, I mean you can't. This is not by accident, guys. Like let's put our thinking caps on.
Okay.
You can't make a $1 billion movie and then come out and then make another movie that's a 32% both audience and critic score. Like he did this because this was never supposed to be a sequel. He did not want to make this movie. He was forced to make this movie because he was pressured with the money that they offered him. They gave him carte blanche. They gave him full freedom to do whatever he wanted. They gave him a boatload of fucking money. And because the first movie made $1 billion, he was kind of obligated to do it. Right.
I don't agree, because it's one of those things like if he didn't want to, he could have just said no.
Yeah, but when you're forced, when they're offering you a certain amount of money, dude, that kind of trumps your you know what, I just don't want. I thought this was gonna be a one-off, bro. They're offering you a boatload of cash, bro. Like it's funny what people will do for.
So he did want to make the movie.
I think he wanted the money.
Well, yeah, that's like everybody wants to make movies to make money.
So you're making my point. So he made the movie because he wanted to make the money. He didn't necessarily want to make the movie because he had the creative juices to make a sequel. He never intended the Joker. The Joker was not supposed to be a part of the DCEU. It was supposed to be a standalone movie. It wasn't. It was supposed to be a standalone. Todd Phillips automatically after the first movie came out said that this was a standalone movie. It was a one-off. He did not want to make another one. It just so happens that it made $1 billion fucking dollars, bro. Again, these people have investors to talk to and to report to
answer to. Yeah.
So first off, I'm sorry to say, but $1 billion movies don't just come across the DCU like normally.
Never do. Especially since Zack Snyder's they're no more men. Dude.
So when you make $1 billion off of a movie, you're gonna want to do that again. So
yeah, and he did. This guy made a choice to make a movie, and if he was forced to make a movie, I would understand like that he would just be like contractually obligated. That I get that if he's contractually obligated to go in and make a movie, I understand that. But he made a choice, and then was given the opportunity to be 100% what he wanted. So this movie, no matter if he wanted to make it or not, he took the effect to be like, hey, well, you know what would be really cool? I can make another movie as a psychological thriller based on this character, Arthur, and just keep dwelling into the character, keep doing a bunch of Memento stuff or like Shutter Island, just these effects in film, which have been, it's not like they just started making movies last year. There's years of movies that he could have followed. But he instead decided to go, you know what? Then I'm going to make Harley Quinn the mastermind. I'm going to bring in a whole other character that's just as big, if not the character they're trying to make bigger than this character. And I'm going to make her the most important thing. That's
was a big
his
fuck you.
100% choice.
This was yeah, it was a choice, and you're making it to seem, or from what I'm getting, is that it was by mistake. What I'm saying is this was on
Oh,
purpose. This was
wasn't by
this was
mistake.
this is not something that he did by mistake to piss people off and then get a 32%. You know, you have to really hard. You have to try to make a 32% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, if you're shooting for like the worst film in cinematic history, I mean, there is The Back Room, or what's that movie by that one weirdo guy, the one that everybody watched for a minute? Hi, Mark, or whatever. I didn't hit her, Mark. I'm sorry. Hey, man, or whatever. What was that one movie?
I don't know. The Hangover, another movie by him, is an 84% Rotten Tomato.
If I,
Bro,
okay, look,
Dude,
watch.
this guy's films include all three Hangovers, right?
Yes.
Road Trip, Old School, Borat, School for Scoundrels,
All
Due
the-
Date. Yeah,
Where the
fucking
fuck does
War
that
Dogs. A
psychological
Star is Born.
horror movie?
Exactly.
Dude,
this
A
what I'm
Star
saying.
is Born.
This is what I'm saying. Like, you can't tell me that a guy that is making
The Room.
comedy movies that are 84%, you can't tell me that it wasn't a choice to make a 32% Rotten Tomato movie. Like that's insanity for me just to think about. There's no way. Like he's not gonna quit. He did this as a big fuck you to everyone that he wanted to say fuck you to, and that's what it is.
I mean, well, now look at it. Big fuck you. Put him at the lowest numbered film in cinematic
He'll
history.
survive.
That's on his
He'll survive.
resume, man.
He'll
That's
survive.
like 40
survive.
years of movie making, man. You got to do
He'll
real
survive.
fucking bad.
He'll survive.
Like I don't
He'll be
know.
alright.
It's just one of those things. Like I got to see the film coherently. I don't think it was a good, solid film at all. Like it jumped so many times. And again, the reason why I think the first movie was so well done was because he just copied the King of Comedy. Like he literally just copied all of that dude's films. I can't even remember Scorsese, right? He just copied a bunch of his shit and just put it in a format of like this other guy. Almost the exact same thing he did in those movies, this guy did in this one. And now he's jumping into a whole new movie that he just couldn't fucking copy. Like again, all of the comedy movies you guys kind of like put out there about what this guy has in his resume, why would you choose that person to make a psychological film?
He didn't try to copy it though, Chris. He made it a fucking musical. What more information?
Oh no, I'm talking about the first movie. The first movie was like a copy of The King of Comedy and
Okay.
Taxi Driver, literally like one for one.
Yeah,
I can literally grab scenes from both movies and put
made
them
$1
in the
billion.
Yeah,
So
because he
regardless
just
of
copied
what,
another film. But in the second
regardless of
film,
whether you copied it or not, it made $1 billion. That's that is
With a budget of 55 million.
yeah, the first movie was. I mean, you can't
That's
fuck
a-
around with it.
that is a win. So regardless, when you have those type of numbers, Chris, you are going to be pressured to make another one because this studio is going to throw all the money at you.
Yeah,
all
I
of
don't
it.
know, man. I don't know. When again, I'm not. Well, we're not in that situation. So yeah, maybe the money got this guy off the couch to make a movie.
I'm surprised
he
you're
knew he
saying
was gonna
maybe.
fail.
There is no maybe. That's the reason why he did this.
He could have said
Why
no.
else?
Could have said no if he didn't want to make a film. He could have said no. I mean, fucking Rick Moranis has denied films like ever
Listen,
since he had kids.
Everyone's not Rick Moranis, bro. When you're starting to talk about the fucking hundreds of millions of dollars that you could possibly like, and if Warner Brothers was smart, what they should have did because they only took one backer,
Absolute cinema.
what they should have done was put most of his money on the back end. Put it in points, put it in credits, put it something like that to where like if this movie does well, that's how you get the majority of your money. They paid him up front and gave him full creative freedom. You were asking for this. You were asking for this.
Yeah. I think they should sue his fucking ass, dude.
I mean,
I think they should fucking take his ass to court because he fucking that's just embezzling fucking film money, dude. Like he went out there and he's like, nah, fuck it. I'm gonna make a movie that say fuck you if you like the first movie. Who again, Taika Waititi did that with Thor Love and Thunder. And look at him now. He can't release a movie that anyone gives a fuck about anymore. He's incoherent in Hollywood. No one wants to work with him. They're literally making another Thor movie, and Chris Hemsworth's literally nicest guy in Hollywood's like, yeah, I don't want to work with that dude no more. Like, how bad do you need to do to be called out like that?
I think
Like,
Taika will be fine. I think
he's gonna be
this
well.
guy,
I don't know.
this guy will be fine.
I
And
don't know,
that's the thing.
man.
That's the thing. Hollywood is fickle like that, bro. Like you could put out a dud and be fine, bro.
Well, I mean, the whole thing
Yeah, but
was
when your dud drops off that hard,
I was gonna
Fair.
say Taika Waititi. He did.
yeah, I mean, while that might be true, what major project has Taika really released since Love and Thunder?
I don't know.
because it's hard to find because nobody.
I don't know.
wants-
I don't know. Wasn't it Jojo Rabbit? Was Jojo Rabbit after or before?
No, that was before.
That was before.
That was before.
And
Actually,
so was Free Guy, right?
yeah.
Free Guy was also before.
Free Guy was before. That was why they got him in the first place. I'll tell you what.
And
It's
again,
Next
so that's what I'm
Goal
saying.
Wins.
And
The
so
movie that
next-
he made was Next Goal Wins. That was
Exactly.
the soccer one, and
So-
it was bad.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He got the opportunity. The whole point is he got the opportunity to make another fucking movie. That's the whole.
Oh yeah.
point.
I mean, he
So
got
we're
him.
not. So yes, you can make a shit movie. That's my whole argument. You can make a shit movie and still get the opportunity to come back and prove yourself right. Now, whether you want to make another shit movie after that, that's on you.
Well, I mean, the thing is the next movie that he made was about a soccer team in his hometown. He was given the opportunity to do this very ground roots movie for his own culture and all this other stuff.
Yeah, I
And
remember that.
it even had Michael Fassbender in it.
Yeah,
And this
that's
movie only
right.
made $18 million, dude.
Okay.
Because everyone hates Taika.
Yeah.
But
That's
regardless, the whole point is not whether or not your next movie is going to be a success after a bomb. It's the fact that you are still getting the opportunity to put out a feature film in movie theaters after a bomb. That's my whole argument.
'cause I was gonna
Okay,
say,
well, if that's where the basis of your argument is, that fucker premiered at A24, still didn't do all that well, and obviously didn't do much in the box office.
Regardless on whether it was a success or not, you can bomb and still have in Hollywood and still have the opportunity to prove yourself. Now, again,
Yeah.
if you want to shit the bed again, that's on you. But you
Yeah.
are still going to get the opportunity to do so.
yeah, because it's just
to premiere in something that's basically movie Broadway, I'd hang it up after that.
for me, it's one of those things like it's self-sabotaging, right? For the format, I don't want to go back to Taika too much because he's
Fuck Taika Waititi.
he's in the
He's gonna be
format.
okay.
And you know what? I'm not going to shit on because he did good with Ragnarok. That was a great fucking film. It really was. Even to this day, still one of the top 5 Marvel movies. In fact, top 3 Marvel movies, if you really think about it.
Facts.
But to know that he did that and then made one of the worst Marvel films,
Piss off, Ghost.
resume drops. And then again, it's almost self-sabotaging because we know for the work that he did in Thor Ragnarok that he could have knocked Thor Love and Thunder out of the park. He could have knocked it out of the park, but he chose to make it the way that he wanted to because he wanted to make a point or whatever. Self-sabotage. Then it hurts his resume, and now it's hard for him to come back from being one of the top directors everybody wanted to work with. From now, one of the people that the dude he did with doesn't want to work with him anymore. That's very Vin Diesel-ish of him. That's very the guys that people just don't want to work with anymore.
I'm just not putting too much stock into it. I think that's where.
Well,
I
okay.
differ
The
from
reason
guys.
why I
I
go
don't
back
put
to
too much
that
stock
is
into it.
because Todd Phillips in an interview said he did it on purpose. He did this on purpose. He did not want to do this film.
Yes.
That's him verbally admitting that he self-sabotaged this whole project and all the millions of money that the people invested into this film and this work for this guy to make a point that he did not want to make a film. To me, that's in Ryan's of him getting sued to the moon by these people being like, we didn't give you money to fuck around with. We gave you money to make us money. And you took advantage of it. He just took advantage of it. Again, he could have said no.
There's nothing illegal to say that he didn't want to make the movie. There's nothing
Except for
illegal.
the fact that he verbally said he didn't want to make a movie.
That's
and
still,
that he
not, that's,
sabotaged
still
it.
not that's still not illegal. That's not illegal.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, whether we like the movie or not, he gave them a product.
Yeah.
Whether he wanted to or not.
He did.
He did his job. Yeah,
He did his job.
the job.
He did his job.
Yeah, you
That's
gave
not
me money to
illegal.
make you movie.
It's a
You have to
shitty
make
job,
you a
but
movie.
he did his job.
I have given you a movie.
Yeah.
I'm the one who put that together.
Although I agree with you, Chris, and I think if I were Warner Brothers,
If I was one of his investors, I sue the fuck out of him.
I would be pissed. I would be pissed again because I didn't get the normal 10, 20 backers to back. This is all on me. So yeah, I would be super fucking pissed.
Yeah.
But
I
at the
would
end of
blacklist him. Like
at the
me,
end-
I would go after his career. I wouldn't try and sue him because I would have no case. I like whether we like the work that he did is irrelevant, or product that he put out is completely irrelevant. The terms were completed. I pay you for job, you did job. I don't like work, does not matter.
Let me
Now,
ask you
I would just go after his career after that. I would be like, well, I'm gonna blacklist you. You will be making fucking backyard fucking
Wrestling
Broadway
videos.
shows now and have fun.
something,
But like,
something
Let me
tells
ask you guys
something
then.
tells me that he doesn't care about that. In order for you to do that, to make a conscious effort to do that, you're not really concerned about your future. So I don't think that would even be worth it, to be honest.
So let me ask you guys, and just off the whim of the Joker 2, if you were Joaquin Phoenix, if you were, I mean, you're not, but Lady Gaga, if you were Zazie Beetz, if you were any of the actors that are big names that have worked with several other directors throughout all their lives in big movies, if you were on this film and in an interview heard this person who was in charge of the film say, "Nah, I wanted to fucking make a shit movie on purpose," like with your name on it, how would you feel about it? As
I got
Joaquin
paid.
Phoenix?
I got paid, and I'm Lady Gaga. So what the fuck is really gonna stop for me? And
yeah, dude, that girl has like thrown rocks at her own career, her entire career. That
The
girl
only-
could give a fuck.
Joaquin Phoenix he just won a fucking Oscar, so nothing's really gonna happen to him. And
Yeah.
you got paid, so there's nothing like I get where you're coming from, but at the end of the day, Todd Phillips did what he did, and he's gonna get away with it. And everyone that's associated is gonna get away with this as well. They could have they could have very well known that this was a shit movie, but you are talking to people that are cemented right now. Like these are some of the this is one of the top artists of our generation, one of the top actors that are out right now. Nothing's really gonna happen to them for a bomb movie. Like
for me, it's one of those things. It's like Michael Keaton in the Flash movie. You just feel bad for him. You know what I mean? Because they
Why
come
do
out
you feel bad
movies,
for him?
because you don't want people. I wouldn't want to be associated with like shit movies. If
I
I'm
would
out
feel
there trying to
bad.
mess
I
with
would
people.
feel
Dude, then don't be an actor because you're going to.
Yeah, I
If
would
you're
feel
gonna
bad.
do a movie, don't be a director.
Listen, I would feel bad if they didn't get paid, bro. Why you guys are looking up fucking shit? Why don't you go look up how much these two dickheads got paid for this movie and tell me if you still feel bad for them after this?
Did they? I don't even know how much. I'm gonna check.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
My thing is that like
I don't
like
feel bad
more
for them
like
at all.
more on the, like what Chris was saying. Like I wouldn't want to be a part of a shit movie. It sucks, dude. You're an actor. You're gonna be. Like that's like saying I don't ever want to have a bad customer. That I don't ever want to have a problematic customer.
How much?
20 million.
Yeah, 20 million.
Yeah.
20 million. Still feel bad for him?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think he probably got paid more for Gladiator. He only got paid 4.5 million based on the first film.
Exactly.
So he had like a huge increase of pay.
Exactly.
Well, their budget was also three times,
and they are going to survive this. So there's no reason for you to feel bad.
No, like I don't think there's going to be a problem with Joaquin Phoenix. That's like Chris Hemsworth. I don't think Chris Hemsworth is going to have a problem coming back as Thor. The problem's Taika Waititi. The problem is Todd Phillips. Those are the guys that will go back to making film, and no one's ever going to see their film again because they're going to be like, "Why am I going to spend my money on this piece of shit film guy? Like he sucks at making films.
I don't know.
Like he sucks." I mean,
you can't say that because of one movie. You can't say that.
Two movies.
You can't say that.
Yeah, I was like the Joker one wasn't that great for me either.
Well, that's for you, but it was a billion. It was a $1 billion movie. It was a $1 billion movie. So as of right now, it's one movie. Everything before this one movie are fucking smashes. Every last one of them.
The
So
comedies and stuff that
he's going to survive. This is what I'm saying. He's going to survive this. Everyone involved is going to survive this. So it's again, if I was Warner Brothers, I'd be pissed. But everyone is going to survive this, including Taika Waititi for Love and Thunder and Todd Phillips for this movie.
Yeah, if anything, like in those situations, like the IPs that they're known for, Like Taika Waititi, what they do in the shadows, like that's of course going to be like it's got its own fan favorite stuff. So people are going to clamor at that. I mean, I'm not saying that they're not going to be successful anymore. Like they're going to just die or be homeless from it. What I'm saying is, why self-sabotage if you know it could damage your reputation? Because reputation is the hardest thing for you to pick up. And like we said earlier, Triggs was like, even in his format, he said, if I was an investor, if I was working at Warner Brothers, even like you said, I would instantly like blacklist this person or just not work with them anymore. So this person made an effort to do bad, and then the bigger companies are just going to make a choice to not work with them. Why self-sabotage yourself when you're at that height?
Because you have the resume. Again, this is going back to what I'm saying. Because you have the resume to not worry about that. You think Warner Brothers is going to be able to fucking blacklist Todd Phillips? That's impossible. I mean, who the fuck is Warner Brothers? These motherfuckers are they're first off, they're broke. They don't have any stain in the game. They're broke. They're about to sell. They've been trying to sell for mad long, but they can't because no one wants to buy that piece of shit fucking company. They're tossed up between Max and HBO. So you can't you're not gonna blacklist fucking Todd Phillips. He might have to sit out. He might have to do a timeout for a year or two. There's no blacklisting fucking Todd Phillips, bro.
I don't know, man.
Bro, Todd Phillips is not that fucking strong of like a producer / director. Like, he's got bangers, dude, and I get it. But this isn't fucking Harvey Weinstein.
I have numbers.
Yeah, but this guy also is not Harvey Weinstein, who's put out way more fucking. Dude, he could have fucking 3 or 5 fucking billion-dollar movies. It still fucking wouldn't matter. They're still like blacklisting Harvey Weinstein. Granted, he was like way worse.
Are we putting Harvey Weinstein? We're not doing that. We're not comparing Harvey Weinstein and fucking I'm going to disregard that. What I'm saying is Todd Phillips just made $1 billion fucking movie and got a full range freedom to do whatever the fuck he wanted to on this one.
Bro, he made $1 billion movie 5 years ago. There have been like 20 since. Okay. That's like dude, that's old news. That's old news shit.
There hasn't been 20.
I'm obviously exaggerating, but I'm saying that there have been billion-dollar movies since then.
You are not going to be able to blacklist someone that just made $1 billion movie within the last 5 years. It's impossible. There's no way for you to blacklist that person. I don't give a fuck what he did. I don't give a fuck what kind of dud he put out. I don't care what. Because he went over to Warner Brothers and put out a dud doesn't mean that somebody else is going to take a chance with him. Now, are they going to put some reins on this motherfucker like they should have in the first place? Like Warner Brothers dumbass didn't do? Yes, I will agree with you on that. But to blacklist him, impossible. Not gonna happen.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just one of those things. In my opinion, it's just my opinion. If you were to have someone come out publicly say that they came out and they publicly sabotage himself, and you had investors or people that were putting a lot of money behind this person to know that that's how they handled your funds, I wouldn't work with that guy anymore.
That's on Warner Brothers. That's not on him. That's on Warner Brothers. But the thing is, and it's like you said earlier, like. He's going to get paid. He's going to make his money. He's not contractually obligated. They probably can't sue, or they can. We don't know where they're going to go with that yet. But it's so weird to see people make that type of move. Like even him in an interview being like, yeah, I'm already done with this Joker character. I'm going to move on. It's like, of course, knowing it's the equivalent to watching like a sports team fail miserably and then be like, well, it's cool because I'm going to retire anyways. And it's like, well, why'd you fucking come out if you were going to retire and waste our fucking time? Like the whole entire production is based on the way that you go out and put your work into it. And knowing that you're doing it on purpose to fail, like you just end up wasting people's time. Joker 2, an entire film people waited years for it to wait, fan base. For this guy to come out and say that he purposely did it bad because he didn't care for it anymore, self-sabotaging, he did that to the fans, the people that care about the IP. Again, this is all on this guy's own, choice and discretion. And he did it. He didn't give a fuck about anybody else. Like you said, he just wanted to get paid. Just stingy bitch, dude. It's a real stingy bitch. But he got paid. He got paid. He got paid. Like, he got paid. And honestly, I didn't see it. So again, you don't have to go out and watch it. No one's forcing you to go out and fucking watch the fucking movie. I didn't watch it. And I love
Yeah.
the first fucking, and I love the first.
I didn't spend any money. I'm gonna put this out here. I saw that bitch Pirata, dude. I ain't gonna spend money on that shit. I knew it was gonna suck.
He made it a musical, bro. Like that told me that he's not taking it in the same direction that he took it in the first movie that I loved. So I'm not going to invest any time into it because I don't want to watch a fucking musical. Like that shit have not been like that was a red flag.
Yeah.
That was a fucking red flag, bro.
Well, I mean, the idea of that, it's more like if you were to put it in ratio, it would be like a 70-20, 70-30% like musical to film. It's like very little that they bust out in song and dance. And I'll argue to say that there are parts in the comic book where the Joker busts out into song and dance when he's killing people based on the idea that it's just what psychopaths do in those kind of trauma-like situations where they have a good time or, you know, dancing around. Real American Psycho with the fucking the chainsaw. That whole scene, it correlates to a lot of like the tropes of those types of films or those type of actions in the psychopath theory. So you automatically assume that when he's doing his song and dance, like, is that actually happening or is it not happening? It's all in his head or whatever the fuck. It's the same shit as the bloody footsteps in the last movie, the first movie or whatever. So like there's interpretation to be done. So like the musical, like I get why they wanted to try that. But again, it's like you said, it's like there's nobody wants to see that shit. Nobody wants to see that because that's not what we believe the Joker would be doing in a Joker film. We want to see action. We want to see a superhero film. We want to see a film about a villain. And yeah, the Joker 2 was mediocre. It wasn't very good at all. The numbers show, you know, it was pretty bad. So yeah, man, don't watch it. Don't watch it. Highly not recommended. Brian ain't even gonna recommend it. If you can see it, watch it like on a free streaming service.
Yeah,
guys, don't put your money into it. Don't put your money into it. Onwards on to the next discussion. I don't want to get too caught up. I can't believe we talked so much about the Joker. I didn't talk as much about the Joker when we were here like 2 weeks ago, man. I've been talking about this for like 3 weeks already. But I did want to hear Brian's point of view on it, and it was super important. So to hear that it has a 90% drop off, that's nuts, dude. Onwards, guys, into Brian, what about New York Comic Con? But the Marvel side, what did we get for the Marvel side?
We got some Daredevil news, and we've been on this.
Yeah, very little.
So like Triggs, sorry, we got the Daredevil announcement. You know, first looks at some of the shots. There's going to be a new Wolverine series going on in comic books, I believe. Like Triggs said, Spider-Man 2 is coming to PC. And that's basically it. There really wasn't much going on for Marvel at Comic-Con.
I'll throw this in there. There have been My Time to Shine and Alex Perez have come out and talked about how there's been some early screening of the Captain America film, Brave New World, and it's not looking too good. It's not looking too good, even with all the going back and refilming and doing shots and all this other stuff. Like it's looking kind of dire. So I'm kind of scared a little bit, but we're still gonna have to wait until a little bit longer. Apparently, there's rumors that Bruce Banner's Hulk is gonna come out in it, which is gonna lead up into World War Hulk, the film after this. There's talk about Bucky.
Still have zero idea what they're gonna do.
I don't have any idea. I'm so scared about that too, man. That's like my favorite story. So that's mine. Your guys.
To me, honestly, I honestly think that Red Hulk and Ruffalo Hulk are gonna have to fight for World War Hulk. Yeah, that's like the only way.
Yeah, the Hulk has to show up. Even with that factor, like there's no way that the Falcon tanks Red Hulk. You know what I mean? There's no fucking way.
Especially a brand new Captain America. Like this guy just became Captain America like 2 weeks ago or whatever.
Yep. So yeah, it looks kind of bad. So we're gonna have to wait to see how that comes out. I really hope it's good. I like the Falcon. I like the series, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I thought that was really cool. Like I really like the grounded characters that I really want them to kind of shine on. But we're gonna have to see how that happens. Other than that, that's pretty much for Marvel. I don't really know anything else. Tom Holland came out and released a lot of stuff about like talking about some things in the Marvel universe. It was in an interview. He mentioned how he hopes that he can kind of beckon in the new Miles Morales into the world. That he hopes he can help out a young actor the same way Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. helped him in the role of Spider-Man. Like to get up there, he hopes that he can help bring up a younger actor. I thought that was very cool. We had a discussion about Miles Morales a couple of days ago on the podcast, not the podcast, actually like in our behind the scenes where we were talking about the kid from actually the show that we're going to talk about, right? The Penguin, the young man in the Penguin show that's
love it, dude.
playing Victor, right? His name's Victor.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Victor,
yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, so that we were talking about how he could be a really good character role for Miles Morales, and I totally agree. I was talking about, I think I mentioned that he was also the character in Runaways, but that show, of course, it's like the
It was DC's, or no, it's Marvel.
But it's like the Inhumans. It's like such an old like Agents of Shield. Like even though they are referenced per character, and then we saw Black Bolt come back in.
Well, I mean, they were like the original Young Avengers.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much. They did a really good job in the show. The show was not bad.
Yeah, they did. What 2 or 3 seasons or some shit like that? 2 seasons.
Yeah, I want to say 2 seasons.
You know,
It was good.
yeah. So I mean, like obviously, it wasn't like the first season was actually pretty cool. It was
really good.
Yeah, it was actually relatively engaging. Second season kind of fell off. A lot of people who saw it really thought that their magic user was going to like run into Doctor Strange because
because it was like
yeah. Well, no, it's because like when she uses her powers, her like eyes get dark the same way that like the was it Michael Madsen's character or whatever Mads Mikkelsen's character did in the first whatever. Yeah, that guy. In the first Doctor Strange, and so they were like, "Oh my god, fucking Dormammu confirmed." Yeah, and so dude, I mean, like there was some cool stuff that came out. Yeah, obviously, you know, Spider-Man 2 is going to be on PC the end of January 2025. So yet again, like just rehashing what we were saying, 2025 is going to be an expensive year for gamers. You know, it's going to be expensive for fucking everybody, dude. You know, there's a lot of shit that's coming out. Some more stuff on Dune Prophecy that's coming out, which is going to be like a huge prequels. It's like the start of the Bene Gesserit, you know, for that.
Bene Gesserit for Dune.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, there's some other movies that, you know, are kind of looking at, you know, like Netflix stuff, you know, so there's...
I do want to ask you guys, going into streaming series and stuff like that, I want to get into the discussion that we were talking about earlier. We have two series that are popping off right now that a lot of people are trying to catch up with, Agatha All Along and HBO The Penguin. Me, myself, I've caught on with a couple of episodes of Agatha Harkness, and I know Brian has been watching it. Brian, you said you're enjoying the show pretty good. You're caught up to episode 6. I caught up to episode 5, I believe I told you. How are you liking Agatha all along, man? Like, what are you digging? What are you not digging? What's your pros and cons?
I don't have many cons, to be honest with you. I like the acting. The acting is really good. That's important to me. The story is good. I like the continuity with the I think for me a lot of the Disney Plus shows have issues with continuity with the overall Marvel universe. This connects directly with WandaVision. Yeah, to WandaVision.
So obviously makes it canon.
It's definitely canon, and I don't want to give away too much because I know you guys haven't caught up, but it's really good. This last episode was more of a backstory, and as you guys know, like this is clearly Wiccan. And it's the backstory of how he became
how he came back to life, right?
How he came back to life, and how he's
again.
no longer a younger kid, and now he's a teenager. So yeah, it gets into all that. So
are you pretty like as a fan of the Marvel series and comic books? Are you pretty fulfilled? Like, are you fulfilled on the idea on how they used it, where it's like this is how we're going to age up this person in this story? Because that was like a big thing, right? Like everyone was like, yo, how's he an adult? Like even the young kid actor was in like a red carpet. I remember him saying like he really hopes that they bring him back like to play Wiccan and all this other stuff. And of course, like I think the kid's still like maybe 13, 14. He's really, really young. This guy's got to be like at least in his 20s, but he's playing like an 18-year-old, 17-year-old. So like how do you feel like how they used their story on how he became an adult version of the Billy character?
I mean, it works. I don't know exactly how I feel about it, but it works.
Okay,
It's a clear, decisive, definitive way on how this happened,
it's
and
different, but it's
it
yeah, it
works.
works.
And again, and I'm familiar. I wasn't too familiar with Wiccan as a character in the comic books before.
He's still super underground. You wouldn't
Yeah,
like no one could be like, you don't know.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
a poser. You're a fucking
You're a
poser.
poser, yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
like that.
but I
Big
can still,
fan. Yeah.
I can still see how some of the purists would feel a certain way about it.
For like Young Avengers, yeah, but
Yeah,
go fuck them. Fuck
but
them.
I honestly, for me, someone who's not familiar with the character, again, it works. It was something that was tied up really quickly, and it is what it is, and now we're moving along. It is one of those type of things.
It's real weird. I think I was talking to Trigger about this the other day. Can you imagine we are at a point in comic book films in Marvel where they're introducing the Diurge, like the literal
Oh, the
next,
Demiurge, yeah.
like the Demiurge, the next like magical god Wiccan, who is like super stupid strong in the comic books,
Mhm.
like dumb strong, OP, super OP. And they're just like introducing him casually in this show of like just a bunch of ladies traveling down a thing. To me, it's one of those things, like you said, like, and even like Trigger said, like you'd have to be like a real diehard fan to really know who Wiccan is and how his origin starts. But to know that we're getting his origin as a streaming service that's not even like on a major film, even though in the comic books and in some of the stories, he is a huge game like character piece in most stories. Like just to see him kind of like casually show up in like a streaming service and be introduced. Like, do you think it's kind of like undermining the character a little bit, like his importance in the overarching, or do you think like it's just kind of like too late in the game to be introducing like such heavy things to make them like super key elements in the stories anymore of Marvel?
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. I don't think that. I think that from
I
what
felt that it was safe.
yeah,
What he was trying to say is that I felt that it was the safe bet because it eases people in. Like,
Yeah.
you're not throwing it at them in a sense that they're like, if you don't like this and it doesn't get picked up, then we're fucked. Or like, we spent like so much effort on this character, and as opposed to like a Netflix show or Disney Plus, where you can kind of ease people into them, build the story with them, keep them somewhat engaged, and kind of like with Wicked, like you gave him a lot of mystery, and a lot of people who saw WandaVision were like, is this motherfucker who I think it is? Is this motherfucker who? And then it finally gets revealed, and you feel a little bit more closer to the character, because like now, like, oh, there's a sense of satisfaction knowing that you were right or that you were wrong. And
I think
I feel like that could have it, like, at least like on a like producer level, that it would have been better for the audience because it keeps them engaged, or even makes them want to go out and buy more things as per Wiccan and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
this
Right.
was better. This was better off just being a Wiccan show, as opposed to it being
An Agatha show?
an Agatha show.
Oh, I get you. I get
They
you.
were probably better off just making this a Wiccan show,
Is
because
he that integral, like to
He's-
in Agatha?
He's very
he's
important.
very, very important. Very important.
Okay.
He's very
Yeah, because like I let for our listeners, I still haven't watched it. I'm just gonna binge it. So like my questions are very ignorant to this show. I have not seen it.
So
No. I mean, you raise a good question. You raise a good question. And Brian, you're absolutely correct. It would have probably been better if it was just called Wiccan or something, like kind of like a little bit more mysterious, and then you know what it's about because the character's name is there. And you could have still had it in the same format because, of course, like the visual focal point of every episode is Agatha. Like Agatha is literally like mainly in front of the camera. but the story is kind of moving more with
It's
what
turning.
Wiccan is
Yeah,
doing,
it's
right?
turning. Exactly. It's
Yeah,
turning.
like
It's
he
turning
plays
into a
almost like our point of view to the story in the very beginning. He's asking the questions, even though he's already kind of magically inclined. He already shows that he has his powers, kind of like in the later episodes. Like, this guy isn't ignorant, but throughout the entire first episodes, pretty commonly knows exactly who he is. He knows his backstory, he knows his name, he knows all that stuff, and he knows he has magic. But like, he's just kind of like acting naive most of the time, very like, oh, like running away from things. And like, when later on, of course, when episode 5 pops off and you see all the major things happening, you're like, yo, well, why were you acting so wussy like in the first episodes if you got all that, dude? Like, why were you running away from these like weird 7 characters and all this other stuff?
So the last 2 episodes are basically about Wiccan.
Just
And
Wicked.
in this last episode, the one that just came out, is all about Wiccan. And it basically not contradicts, but opposes what you just said. And yeah, he wasn't naive at all. Like
Yeah, he wasn't naive. He knew exactly what he was doing.
He knew exactly what the fuck was going on. And that's why I think, like, if you were gonna go in this direction, and from what I've been hearing, they're like, this is like a trilogy. Like, they're gonna make this a trilogy where the Vision show is like the 3rd part in this trilogy, and it's gonna be like
Like Vision
WandaVision.
Quest, right?
Yeah, so it's gonna be
Yeah.
the WandaVision show, this show, which is again turning into like a Wiccan thing, and then it's gonna turn into the Vision Quest,
Yeah,
right?
Vision.
And then ultimately they'll all be back together at some point. So if you're gonna go this route, you should just make this show the Wiccan show.
And I want to throw this out there. I know we've been hearing about it a lot during just online in general, like just like through just the earway. We do see that Boner comes back, right? That dude that was
bonered again.
Yeah, we got bonered again.
We got bonered again.
I heard. And it was kind of like, oh, what's up, Dell? Good to see you, my dude. The comic menu in the chat. Always a pleasure, guys. We love you guys. Thank you guys for coming in. Man, you guys got to come on the show too. Dell, got to get you back on, man. Yeah, we got bonered again. I heard that he came out. It was kind of interesting with the way that they're kind of like utilizing his character. Like, it's still just the boner guy. He's not Quicksilver, but he does kind of like talk about some of the story as to why that happened and stuff like that. Kind of like fill me in, because I'm kind of lost on that and I'm interested, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to have the chance to watch it.
All right, so not to give too much away, but first off, Evan Peters is a phenomenal.
He's such a G, dude.
Such a fucking, just a gem of an actor.
He can do anything, and I love that
Yeah.
guy.
I gotta put that out there first. Like, this guy, he crushed it. Like, even though I hate the character, he crushed the scene.
He's so good.
And it's more or less, again, not to give anything away, it's more or less him explaining from a resident's perspective as to what they were going through while they were in the hex, and what it was like.
Okay,
And what it was like. So, like, now he's more of a like, now that everyone's out of the hex, he's a conspiracy theorist. He is he's the one that is, uncovering the truths of what went on in there, and this is where Wiccan goes to get his information from, and to set him on his path.
And then let me ask you, because I don't want to spoilers, right? I don't want to talk spoilers too much, because I want people to get, if they're going to watch it. And I know Trig said he was going to watch it too, so I don't want to spoil too much. But like, how do you feel now knowing that like the dichotomy of both Wanda and Wiccan, both are on this journey to find people that they're really like, they love deep-heartedly, that they have to find them. How do you feel about that, knowing that they're both like on this cool, interesting path at the same time? Like, of course, Wanda's looking for the thing she's looking for. Wiccan is now looking for the thing he's looking for. How do you feel about that?
This show is pretty smart, because like they took a lot of time and effort to make sure that there weren't any plot holes, right?
Yeah, they're really lining the pathway up for the Wanda story really well.
Yeah, so
and the Vision story too.
Yeah, they're making sure that no one is sitting at home. How come Wanda didn't find this kid, right? Like, they explain that. They explain why Wanda could not find this kid. So it's like they're definitely making sure that they're covering all their
Salem
angles.
Strauss. That's so funny. So overall, you're liking the show. I want to get
Yeah.
your opinion on this, Brian. You're the one that's more into the show. I've only, like I said, I'm watching it casually. I'm not really like against it or for it. Um, I think it's okay. I'm not really. I know it sounds
It's not
really
for you.
weird, right?
It's not
I'm
for
not
you.
really hyped on like the whole like.
He's not the target
explaining-
audience, dude. Don't worry about it.
I'm
At
not the
all.
target audience, right? Just
At
in
all.
certain parts, right? I'm not really fond of like the witchcraft stuff in films and stuff like that too. Like I like the idea of when they kind of like make up a lot of the fictional stuff, but when they're actually using things, it kind of trips me out as to why they need to go that far into it. But I get it, respecting people that do that kind of stuff. I get it, being inclusive to a lot of people, they deserve to be in there. So again, that's the audience, and I can appreciate that. But I'm not really too fond on the witchcraft stuff and things like that. It doesn't interest me as a person. So I watch it casual just to catch up and review and talk about and see how close it is to the comic books. And casually, it's cool. I'm gonna be the first to admit it. I told Trigger this last week. I think the main character that plays Agatha, she's super charming. The way that she carries Wanda as this character that's not a villain nor a hero, no good nor bad. She just sits in the middle. She doesn't give a shit. She just wants to be there. The way that they carry her, I feel, is a really, really great explanation of who Agatha Harkness is in the later overarching story in Marvel comic books, as to why she could be the nanny of one of the strongest reality bending characters in the comic books. When like I told Trigger, like when she is the nanny of Franklin Richards, who is one of the strongest people, can make galaxies in his own hands. And this chick is like just an OP witch, reality warping, like power stealing character. I think this chick pulls it off. Like I could see her in a Fantastic Four movie being the nanny of the kids in the Fantastic Four series.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like she really plays it well.
I honestly think that over the last 2 episodes, because you actually get to see Catherine Hahn, who is playing
Agatha.
Yeah, Agatha.
You get to see her switch. Like in the first couple of episodes, she is like the anti-hero or even the hero, right? But it's almost like the Penguin. Like the Penguin, when you're watching the Penguin, you kind of are in that, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? But then he'll do something that will make you remember.
Remind you,
yeah, he's a piece of
yeah,
shit.
remind you it's a piece
And
of shit.
Agatha is the same way.
Very.
She's the same way. It's like over the last 2 episodes, you see that click where she's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm Agatha, bro. Like I'm Agatha, and and I'm the motherfucker."
Maybe y'all forgot.
Yeah,
but I'm Agatha.
And
So
it's
like,
so weird because she's not a villain. She's just an asshole. Like it's just what it is. Like it's hard to explain what she is in the overarching like dichotomy of superhero stories and Marvel. She's just there. It's like,
So then let me ask you all this as like somebody who isn't watching but is still pretty simp for this particular actress, Aubrey Plaza.
Oh,
what's the deal?
All right, so
lay it down for me.
Aubrey Plaza, as you know, is an acquired taste. If you like her, you're gonna love her in this show.
Yeah,
she is full blown Aubrey Plaza. Yeah, she's full blown Aubrey Plaza. So and that's just like how and I love Aubrey Plaza. So it's like if you love her, bro, you're gonna love her in this show. She is in this last episode, she wasn't a parent. And there are spoilers out there. If you don't want to know the spoilers on who she is, I would say stay off the internet. But she is great. She's not overly used, but she is hitting the nail on the head every time that she is being used. And again, if you like her, you're gonna love her in this show. If you like
does she have kind of like a Jenna? Do you think that she has kind of like a Jenna Ortega vibe in her like Wednesday like show? You know, do you think that like would be a decent parallel or an inspiration for Aubrey's character here?
See, the thing is, I think Jenna Ortega is acting when she's like that. I don't think Aubrey Plaza is acting. I think that's who she is, bro. Like, I think she's really like that crazy kooky bitch, and like that's who she is. And so I know the comparison, and I kind of get the comparison, but I put her on a different level because I think that Aubrey Plaza is just that weird ass bitch that you love, and she is just that in the show.
She's the chick that keys your car and throws a brick through it, and you still love her, dude.
And you still want to bang.
And
Exactly.
you still want to
You-
fucking
and
be
you
about
still
that
wanna-
life.
and you still want to bang.
So-
the Valley
Exactly.
Foxicas, dude. That's why we love y'all. That's why we love y'all.
100%.
Exactly.
Yo, so I guess you brought up Aubrey Plaza's character, like.
Well, yeah, I brought up Aubrey Plaza, but I was also like looking for the parallel, if there was one, or comparison to Jenna Ortega's, Wednesday. They did present an award together. Was it MTV or was it a VMA or?
Just like eating cereal with no milk.
again. So I'm saying like Aubrey Plaza is hit or miss, bro. Like either you love her or you don't, bro. And I love her.
It's true.
She's an acquired taste.
She's like a Vince Vaughn or like Owen
acquired
Wilson.
taste.
You never hate her. You just never hate her. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Yo, okay, so let me ask you then, since you guys already asked this question. So when this thing first popped off and they introduced her character, I 100% thought there was no way she was going to be deaf, and she was going to be Morgan Le Fay. I thought she was going to be Morgan Le Fay.
Okay.
Okay, so she's deaf. Cool.
But
Spoiler
no,
alert.
I don't even have to spoil it for you because the Pops Toys spoiled it. They had already put it out.
If you didn't see that,
Yeah.
then you would have no idea. But
100%.
okay, spoiler alert.
Yeah, which I didn't. So
Yeah.
thank you.
But again, if you
Again.
through the episodes, it explains who she is.
Yeah.
But like in the concept,
Which I haven't seen. So
Briggs, we talked about don't act like that. We talked about this last week. I already talked to you.
but at least Brian was at least courteous enough
I
to
was
be like
fine. I was
spoil,
fine.
like hey, like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
spoil
Thank
anything.
you.
You know.
Comic menu, Dell in the comments was like, "Yo, Comic Con spoiled it." Also, don't act like that. Yo,
I
okay,
didn't really pay attention to Comic
it's
Con.
not-
This
it's
is probably the 1 year that I didn't actually pay attention to Comic Con.
It's not confirmed. It's not confirmed on the show. Yes,
Nor
there
is it
are
denied.
spoilers. There's
But it's
spoilers
heavily
out there.
implied.
It's
it's
heavily
literally
implied.
always implied.
It's heavily
Yeah.
I mean, but even in that as a factor, and this is what I'm going to bring because I didn't get to. I asked this to Trigger last week, which is why I don't know why he's fucking acting all surprised right now.
Yeah.
But
No,
I'm gonna ask
motherfucker, you didn't say
Brian
anything
this
about
week.
Aubrey Plaza last week.
Yeah.
So
I'm
fuck
going to
you.
ask Brian this week.
What's up?
How do you feel knowing that they are introducing the cosmic entity, if that's the nature of it? You already know what I'm going to ask, right?
Yeah.
In a streaming service like
gonna
this, when
hate
she's been
the
like
question.
implied across the fucking board, and they didn't even want to bring her in Infinity Wars, which is where she like so honorably deserved to be. How do you feel that they're bringing her in a series if that's the direction? Let's say, because my thing is still I want her to be fucking Morgan Le Fay. That's my call because Black Sword or Excalibur, Merlin, what is it?
The
Fucking British Parliament or whatever the fuck, Gaia, the fucking the universal god of the Marvel universe now. Yeah, Captain Britain. That whole thing, dude. Like that whole thing. Like that's where I feel like Marvel, and we've heard it a million times, that's where they're trying to expand in the British Parliament of superhero nature. Like it would be cool. I wanted her to be Mephisto. That's literally Satan, I guess. But like, nah, like I can see where you're gonna choose Aubrey Plaza if you were gonna choose Marvel's death, like the female version. Aubrey Plaza's the fucking G, dude.
and
Like,
you
the
know
girl
why
from
Josh
Deadpool-
Brolin is fucking about it, dude.
The girl from Deadpool, she works too. The Vanessa girl, and her being Deadpool's girlfriend and then dying and doing all that stuff. Yo, I'm about that shit too. But Aubrey Plaza, if they choose her as death, bro, give me a Living Tribunal, a movie all about her, and I'm for it, dude. Let me watch her tell Thanos to go eat an ass, dude. Like when Thanos is like, "I love you" or whatever, she's like, "Bitch, whatever, dude, get out of here."
Mamadas, dude.
I don't. So to answer your question, I don't mind it because they don't really touch on the entity of death in the MCU so far. Although it would have been cool because I do understand how integral death is to Thanos and the Infinity saga. But being that they didn't really touch on it, I don't mind it so much. I do think that if that is who she is, which again, all things are pointing towards that. It was good casting. again, little bit of a spoiler in this episode, this last episode. It's all that whole, I think either the second or third episode where Wiccan interacts with Agatha. It gets told again, but through the eyes of Wiccan, not under the spell of Agatha, and you don't see Aubrey Plaza. We don't know what she looks
Yeah.
like. Like there was a scene where you saw them two in the earlier episode, but now through the eyes of Wiccan, Aubrey Plaza is cut off through like a curtain or something like that.
Yep.
You can't see her because obviously they don't want you to see what she actually looks like. So I think it's good. It's good build up. I think it's good casting if that is who she is, and I don't mind it. I don't mind that she hasn't been acknowledged so far because
there's all just these little like sprinkles of who the idea of her is, like the experience and the background of her and Agatha. And then being that if you break down the idea that Agatha is like 15,000 years old, on the idea that death would be literally like hungry to be able to take this person in death, like to be able to take her, because literally all she's been doing is just tricking death to not take her, right? I mean, the concept of it. Yep, the buildup was slow but perfect. Slow and perfect. Most def. Yeah. So, Brian, your opinion. We are 6 episodes in. Yes. I believe there's maybe 2 more episodes that we got to the season finale. Maybe
I think it's 9 episodes altogether.
Overall, okay, so we got 3 episodes.
I think we get 1 more episode, and then the last 2 are combined. Like they're together.
Oh, okay. So they're gonna just put like a big ass hour. Well, yeah. I mean, good, because the last episode was like what, like 5 minutes. It was super short. It was super short. So they're kind of fucking with the time a little bit.
That is one thing that I do not like about Penguin. Penguin episodes are short as balls.
Oh shit!
But they get a lot in there. We're gonna talk about.
Don't get me wrong. Like they do pack a whole lot in, but like I don't know, man. Like I lately I've been watching like a lot of those 45-minute hour episode, like long, like 6-8 episode, long like series and stuff like that. Like because I just picked up Vikings. I'm on like season 2. I just finished The Ranch. That's like another one. I just I restarted Space Force. So like yet again, these are all like longer episode. TV shows, but yeah, like so they're about 20 minutes long, 25 minutes, 30 minutes long.
Well, we're going to talk about the Penguin, but I just want to ask real quick, Brian, before we go to the Penguin, rate your rating on Agatha, just an honest opinion, rated kind of like in your opinion.
Out of 10, I want to give it about an 8, bro.
Oh damn,
solid or soft?
It's solid. It's a solid 8.
Okay.
It's a solid 8. I think that they're getting to what they need to get to. There's not a lot of fluff. I think that and I think that's what I appreciate more is that although they are still using the same Disney Plus formula where episode 5 there's like this big reveal, and then episode 6 or episode 6 and 7 there's a lull. Episode 6 is a lull, but it's a backstory as to what Wiccan and how Wiccan became. So I don't.
His whole origin story almost.
Yes, okay, if that's the case, then last question of this discussion, I'll say: do you feel that there was any filler episodes, like unfortunately that we get with a lot of Disney Marvel shows?
No, there's no filler episodes. Everything means something. They get to they get to where they need to get to, and then
they get to the meat and potatoes pretty quick. It's always meat and potatoes.
It's just the only setback was this last episode, and again, I don't mind it because it was a like you said,
like an origin, It
was an origin story of Wiccan, so you don't mind that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, because it's the questions that you had about his character in the first place. Like you were like, how this fucking dude grow up?
Yeah.
And how did he survive? Why is he here? Why didn't he get evaporated? Why is he not? There's all the questions that you had. But you know what? I was gonna add to that.
Like it's a pleasantly surprise. Like it's a pleasant transition from
for Brian,
the regular things that you guys have been getting for
Brian's really liking the show. Me, I'm kind of like, I'm a little iffy. It's not really like catching my it's not like a big old there's not a lot of action, it's a lot of talk and diagram and a lot of fun and stuff. It's very, like I've said before, really like Disney's Haunted Mansion or like Hocus Pocus, the TV show, or like the movie. It's got its comedy, it's got its tropes and like the whole witchy tale stuff. But like even that nature, I was gonna say like when you mentioned filler, I was gonna say like, oh well, when they're doing like the trials, they're always like real like
But that's I don't know if I can call it a filler because
yeah, because it's really
that's
not like
it's
they're just
important.
fun.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
important.
hashtag cancel Chris. That's so dope. I'm gonna put that up. That's funny as
Dude.
you forgot the P, baby.
First P.
So I would say that even when they're doing the trials, there's still information that's between that.
Yeah.
There's like the part when the teen goes with the chick that makes the candles. And they're just looking around for like materials, and it's like stupid, like just like searching for like I don't even know, like car fluid or just like random shit, nail polish and
drop,
things.
Kid. You got the drop.
And then she like looks at him and goes, "Hey, you got to be wary about this chick because she like sacrificed her kid, and her kid could be like working for Mephisto." And you're like,
and everyone,
whoa, that's a lot of information. Yeah, that's a lot of shit. Slow down, chick. Like that's a lot of stuff.
You got our first Mephisto drop, bro.
So even the factor, I'll even drop this because she's one of my favorite people in the world. The mom from the '70s show, the one that plays the heart lady, like she has her own part in the show, but she is like,
I think her name's like
not really important.
Deborah Jo Rupp. I think
yeah, the little old lady, the mom or whatever. And she was in the Agatha show too. And in the Agatha show, you kind of felt that she was a witch, right? Like in the very first episode, you kind of feel like she has to be a part of something. And then this show kind of tells you like, well, she actually isn't. She's just a fucking lady in the show. Like it was so funny because you expected something and you didn't get it. And the way they used her was so funny, and you feel bad because you love this lady so much because of like her film history and what she's done. But like, it's not underused. It's fun the way they used her character. I thought it was super cool. Like I'm liking everybody. I wasn't really liking the security card chick too much, but then she kind of like has her time to shine.
She's got her own story. Yeah, like,
everybody kind of has this really cool like
there's no lull. There's no lull. There's no there's nothing that's fluffy or filler or anything like that. Everyone has their part. And I appreciate that, especially when it comes to Disney Plus shows where it's just full of fillers and full of bullshit that you don't fucking need. This is a show that's more than halfway done, and I don't feel like anything was wasted.
Yeah, the comic menu says, going back to the last episode, y'all have to agree the way that they brought everyone together, like it was all connected. I love that part for sure. Yeah, like it's very interesting how they're like the connective tissue in this show is very important. Because of course you got a lot of people out there that are probably saying that this show sucks and there's no rewatchability and all this stuff, and it's the same stuff that they would say about like the Wanda show, but the Wanda show is still one of the best shows on the streaming network. Yeah, it was so good. So like them doing this isn't too bad, and it like I said, it's just charming. Like, is it gonna really affect the overarching story of the Marvel universe? Probably not. Like,
is it the best thing I've ever seen in my life? No, it's not.
No, yeah, it's just, but it's not bad. Yeah. But it's not bad. It's not bad. Like for it being a Marvel show, like it's not that bad. I'm all right with it. So Brian gives it an 8. I'd give it about like a 7. Yeah, about the same concept around that same area. I don't think it's like a failure or anything like that. Like I said, my personal
numbers are bad.
Huh?
The numbers are bad.
I mean, of course. I mean, right now, dude, and you know what's super crazy is I just think right now it's just hard because everybody's a critic. Because everybody's a critic. You look at Warhammer, you look at fucking Helldivers, all of them as video games got punished by the fan base to fix their shit. And then they fix it, and then everybody's back to being happy. All right, good. But movies don't get that opportunity. Once you go out and you fuck up, like you got no chance. You got no chance. And right now, Marvel's in this position, like DC, where they got to start listening to the people who buy the stuff and go out there and do things. And it's not hard. It's not like they've never done it before. Like they just got to follow a format that we're comfortable with, and they'll get it. I think right now Agatha's a really good point. It was pretty good, and pretty dope. But being that we've talked about Agatha, being a good show, I wanted to ask you guys because I haven't seen the show at all. HBO The Penguin series. Like I think I'm bad for not watching it because I've heard it's fucking fantastic. Like it's been like 3 weeks, and Trigger's like, man, I hate you, Chris. Like I hate you so bad.
For me, this is the show. This is solid. This is the show that has made me like wait for a show and be excited about it. And I haven't gotten that a whole lot as of late.
I have not seen the Penguin show at all. So Brian, Trigger, you guys have seen this. I want you guys just to tell me about it. Like, let it rip, dude. Like, how many episodes are we in? What are you digging about it? What aren't you digging? Like, tell me.
Tell me. I think we're 4 episodes in, right? I think it's 4.
Yeah. Well, I think 5 is out today.
Okay. Yeah, tonight. Yeah. Actually, I'll watch it when I get off tonight.
Yeah. So as soon as we're off, like no shit, going to my TV, putting that bitch on 4K.
Penguins and shit.
But honestly, it was. You know what I love about a show like this is the fact that everyone was just shitting on it, me included, before it even started, and it turned out to be a fucking banger. Colin Farrell, bro.
As the fucking Penguin,
I can't say enough good things about this guy. Like I don't think I've seen him.
He pulls off gangster well.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's nailing this. He's nailing this to a T. And
I don't know.
I think that
you see a lot of Robert De Niro.
Yeah,
gangster.
The fact
a lot
that,
of Robert De Niro gangster in his Penguin, because like the way that he speaks, and I apologize for cutting you off.
No, go.
The way that he speaks is very like, you talking to me? Yeah. Like he's very like Brooklyn, almost. Mm-hmm. It's very very Brooklyn Italian, kind of guy.
Very New Yorker.
Yeah, you.
I get that.
Yeah, let me talk to you guys. Get the fuck off me. It's this like his mannerisms, his diction, if you will, is very very like New York, Brooklyn, like Italian, and like you hear it a lot. And dude, Colin Farrell being a thick Irishman, fucking nails it, bro.
Yeah,
nails it.
He knows it. And so we just gotta tip our hats to him. Like he's knocking it out the park. The mom is knocking it out the park.
Dude, she's crazy.
Yeah, the mom is knocking it out the park. Also,
I was just about to ask you about her, Kristen. I'm getting her name, Christine Milioti.
Okay.
Oh, that's the that's
I don't remember.
Sophia Falcone.
Yeah, that's Sophia. She played the mother in How I Met Your Mother.
That's
dope. Oh wait, no.
Yeah, no, he's talking about Penguin's mom.
Who's also Penguin's mom. Yeah,
because you see Penguin's mom in there. Obviously I wasn't I didn't want to give too much away either. Not that she's like oh my god, like every fucking episode with this mom, because she's not in every single episode. Yeah. But she is in quite a few.
She's impactful. Yeah, she's impactful in the ones that she's in.
Yeah, like when you see her, you see his character move.
So Chris, this is what I'm saying. Like, we're talking about the fucking mother of Penguin having an effect of this show. So like honestly, I'm surprised you haven't watched it yet. I would say you should watch this immediately, because this is really good. Honestly, again, the same thing with the Agatha show. There's continuity here. To find out how the Batman movie affects this show is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I heard.
But what I love most is that the Batman plays like outside of the like last 2 hours of the Batman like incident.
Yeah,
plays like literally zero bearing on everything else. And I thought that was super refreshing, because you don't want it to be a Batman show. You want it to be a Penguin show, and you want it to be about the crime. Right now, if like later on they were like, "Oh, but we don't do business at night because the Batman's or whatever," that would have been cool or something. But like, it's not necessary. That would have been fluff.
No, I think more along the lines of the effects of what happened in that movie is shown.
Yeah, the Riddler incident.
The Riddler specifically, and what he did at the end of the movie has a huge effect on this show.
As the city, right? Like how the city
is afterwards.
That's so dope. That is so dope. And I remember talking to you guys when we were talking about the Batman film, how like it made Gotham City seem like its own character. So like to see like this HBO show really work with like the idea of like the factors and the variables of like the Batman stuff that you don't really think about outside of it, right? Because you're just like, oh, Batman goes and stops the flooding, or
you're so used to that.
Yeah, you're so used to like him just saving the day, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, this could have been, if this almost seems like it could have been Christopher Nolan's first Batman film, and would have just been equally as successful.
Dope.
Because like because this is so grounded, dude. It's way more grounded than well, I mean, I'm not gonna say way more grounded, but it feels just as grounded as Christopher Nolan's did during his time, of making Batman.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of street level shit that happens, and like it's only just street level stuff. But yes, Brian, I apologize.
No, you're good. I was gonna say, are you caught up so far?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay,
No, as soon as this is done, as soon as we're done and we're finished with our
He's
post,
like, I'm jumping on it.
yeah, I'm gonna go and
Okay.
watch Penguin and then finish Tulsa King.
I have a question. So when it comes to Falcone, right?
Sophia,
No. The
The
dad.
family.
The dad. No, the dad. Were you thrown
Carmine?
off? Yeah,
Carmine.
Were you thrown off that it was a different character? And I love both characters, by the way. I love John Turturro and what's the new guy?
Mark Strong. I think Mark Strong.
Mark Strong.
Yeah.
I love both of them, but did it throw you off a little
No,
bit?
because I had a feeling that was gonna happen. I was wondering if he was gonna play, like if he was going to come out.
I thought
I
it
was
Turturro.
really like I really no, honestly, I immediately, because one, I love both of those guys.
Yeah.
And like, cause I love Kingsman, right? And Mark Strong, and I love, and I know I'm gonna get so much shit like about this from Chris, but I also love the Transformers movies. and
I think that's the conspiracy guy's the best guy, dude. He's the best dude in that fucking film.
Yeah, and so like
that dude's a G. He's been,
dude, and on top of that, I just finished Rounders, which is like
my
literally
God, it's my favorite movie. That's
Yeah.
my top 3 favorite movies of all time.
same.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's Rounders, and he plays like the second biggest character, like third biggest character in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't get to talk about Rounders often, but
Bro,
out. That's one of my top
dude,
3 movies of all time.
post. We'll talk. I got you, homie.
There.
But dude, but yeah, dude, like I love him, and on top of that, he's about. Well, yes, Mark Strong was in Green Lantern too, but we don't talk about that movie ever.
Talk about that movie.
And but yeah, dude, like John Turturro was Carmine Falcone in the movie. Mark Strong is Carmine in the show.
Do they acknowledge that, or is it like a Terrence Howard and
no, it's more of like it just is, right? But at the same time, like it's also two different.
It's the younger version, so it works.
It's somewhat weird. Yeah. But didn't you see him later on, like during the Batman incident, and like I might have to rewatch it, but I could have sworn that Mark Strong also did something like right around that time, and I think it was still Mark Strong.
Everything was younger. Everything was pre-Batman in that episode.
Okay.
All right, I'll take a look. Or the Hippocratic Oath, wasn't that like another thing that they were talking about?
I don't remember it being in their real time though. Everything that happened with Falcone was
Green Lantern movie
a long time ago.
Okay, yeah, because
Vince is like, he was in the Green Lantern movie too. I was like, no one talks about the Green Lantern movie.
Yeah, no one talks about that movie. Well, like when she gets sent, when Sophia gets sent away, that's not too far before like the whole Batman thing.
I think it was a decade. It's 10 years. It was 10 years. She was locked away for 10 years, bro.
Yeah,
so the last time that we saw Falcone in the show was 10 years previous to the now that we're in right now.
Okay.
So yeah, it was still a younger version of him, which again, it works.
Well, either way, he's just a character or a person they used to substitute this actor who couldn't be on this production.
Which I don't know.
And honestly,
what the fuck else is he doing? Like he couldn't have been in this show.
Yeah,
maybe the number was too small. Who knows?
I don't know, but honestly, like watching Mark Strong as Carmine, I almost prefer him.
He works.
Yeah, I see that, and I'm like, fuck, bro. That would have been a good casting, dude.
If you were gonna tell me you were gonna choose that other guy from the Transformers movie,
John
or
Turturro,
this guy Mark Strong,
right, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. I
I
can't let you do that. We're not gonna do that.
I'm gonna choose Mark.
John Turturro is a fucking legend.
He's cool.
Bro.
He's
He's
cool.
a
I'm not
fucking
saying he's
legend,
not
bro.
cool, but like Mark Strong is a G at playing villains, man.
They're both
Bro.
G's.
I hope you
in their
think.
own
I hope you're not thinking about putting all that glimmer in play. Jeez. I
Mark
love
Strong,
rounders, bro. I love rounders.
We're not
like
gonna.
I think I was talking about this last week, and I was like, man, the first row of castmates for this whole fucking film like slaps, dude. Like all the people on top, it's the Christina Milioni, Colin Farrell, Clance Brown as Salvatore,
Yeah.
Mark Strong, the Victor Aguilar kid, Theo Rossi from the Punisher series or
Yeah.
the fucking Daredevil series. Like,
Daredevil,
dude, like
yeah.
just those people alone are just dope. Francis Cho, I know
They're
that
smacking
guy.
it.
Like,
They're
there's so many
smacking it out
people,
the
dude.
park, yo. This is a pleasant surprise. I wasn't looking forward to this show. The same thing with Agatha,
Michael Kelly.
and they're executing really really well.
So like,
But not just that, too. But they're also doing it in a way that doesn't feel so like cheap. You
That
know,
last
like
episode, that last episode was fucking
was
phenomenal.
fire.
I was
dude.
gonna say, Brian,
Fire.
give me like a summary of what this show is like, just really about. I don't even know what it's about.
Again, it's I can do that without spoiling it at all. It's basically um uh the outcome of the Batman movie and the after effects. And Falcone is dead. So now there is a power struggle with the gangs of Gotham. And this is all that's taking place. And now you throw in the nut job of Sophia Falcone, who's got a gripe with basically everyone in the
Everybody.
show, and
Everybody.
she's batshit fucking crazy, and it's just all the chaos that ensues from that. And
Dope.
add great acting on top of that, and then you have your show.
Dude, but you also have to wonder, especially in the last episode, was she really crazy? Was the things that she was like experiencing really happening, or were they just like, "Hey, you're being weird"?
Is she Aubrey Plaza or not, dude?
No, fuck no.
No, she's not. She's not Aubrey Plaza.
No.
She's acting, but I do appreciate. And honestly, I'm a sucker for an Arkham story. Like
yeah.
As the world of Batman, I can never get enough Arkham stories or Arkham
Honestly, Arkham is really the saving grace for Batman.
The gritty, dark underworld of like the Gotham world, like it, like oh man, dude.
And
I think it's about time we get that.
And they touch on this, Chris. Like they go into the world of Arkham, even if they just touch on it a little bit. Like they go into it and just how fucking crazy and fucked up it is, and they nail it.
Dope. I gotta check it out, man. I keep saying that every week, but again, I'm really sorry because I got a lot of stuff going on. But I'm gonna definitely sit down and get to watch this soon. Hopefully soon.
It's only
brother. I'll definitely say this, man. Like you're not going to be disappointed if you can give yourself 3 hours. You'll be completely caught up.
Yeah.
You know,
it's one of those same thing. It's only 5 episodes, and it's only 5 episodes, so like you can catch up. It's not bad.
Yeah, they're not like crazy long episodes. So.
No, they're honestly like 30-minute like long, episodes and stuff like that. So it's not crazy or anything like that. But it's one of those things that, especially like as a DC fan, as a comic book fan, you're gonna find this, and you're gonna. I think that you might draw parallels from like Chris Nolan's universe.
Dope.
Where things were very, very grounded, but it doesn't need Batman's movie to stand on.
Okay, so let me ask
its
real
own
quick,
thing.
just to sprinkle a little bit of the curveball. If you could add something to this, what do you think would make it go over the top, above a 10 average? If they could pull this off, if they add this little bit to it, what do you think? Like, is it good as it is, or do you feel like it just give a little bit more and then we're good?
It doesn't need anything.
Okay.
Doesn't need anything. It doesn't. If you want to throw Batman in there, I guess a cameo would be cool, but you don't need it. This is good on its own. That's how good the show is.
Yeah, I'd really have to agree, but like if I'm gonna, I guess give anything, is like maybe the new drug that they're using happens to
be
correlate, or no, actually, maybe be closer in line, or find out that it was discovered or synthesized by fucking what's Poison Ivy's name again?
I forget her name.
Oh, I can forget her name too.
But Poison Ivy, that's fine.
Yeah,
I got it. I know what could make this, and I saw some conspiracy theories as to the doctors that were introduced.
Lillian Isley, Pamela Lillian Isley.
I
Yeah.
see. The one thing that I think could make the show better if I were to do anything, and it was to take one of those Arkham doctors and make them
Dr. Pink.
Strange or
Hugo Strange?
Hugo
Yeah, honestly, that would have been cool. Like, I wanted that one too. And honestly, that's what I thought Hugo Rossi's character is.
They can still do
It
it.
can still happen, yeah.
They can still
I still feel in my heart of hearts that like Theo Rossi's character is going to be a Hugo Strange, like knockoff or some shit like that.
Or I think that they can make one of the doctors like Scarecrow or something like that. Like there's a lot of things that are conspiracy theories out there right now that I think could work. But honestly, if they don't do any of that shit, it'll be perfectly fine. The show is good.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed with it. Like if you want more out of the show, it's because you're nitpicking.
Yeah.
You know what I would really love to see? I know it's probably not going to happen, but I would love to see like a grounded, like the way you guys are talking about how this show is, but to have the toy maker involved. I think the toy maker written in this kind of story would be like a really great like bomb maker guy, like real crazy, real like out of
I'd
this
rather
world.
see a Victor Says. He's
Victor
more.
Sass would be
I was gonna say that too. Like Victor Sass would work.
Yeah, he's a little bit more closer to the underground,
yeah,
mafia
like,
life.
kind of, like there's like specific characters that you kind of expect to see. Like when you right now you were talking about Victor Strange, I was like, well, what about Dr. Pig? He could be like a serial killer. Like there's like a Bud Calendar man, you know what I mean? You always get like these like reference, and then Victor Zaz, of course, like he's always a major player. Same thing with like Frost, or what's that guy's name? The one that
Victor
killed
Freeze.
Joe Freeze. Joe
Chill.
Joe Chill, yeah, the one that killed like the parents of Bruce Wayne. Like those guys are always like, you're always expecting to see those guys as background characters. But like I always feel like the Toy Master or the Mad Hatter are always these great characters that never really get like an Arkham like style of storytelling. You see, even Vince is like, oh, dude, the Mad Hatter.
They're all very cartoonish in this.
Yeah,
show.
they're cartoony.
Yeah,
Right?
I was about to say, it was like, but they're great video game.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
backgrounds.
they're really, really good in certain aspects, but like I would like to see like a very like a really well written, sinister, like psychological thriller of like the Toy Maker or Mad Hatter. I think those two characters would like.
You should play Arkham Knight then.
Oh, yeah,
you
of
will
course.
you will
Yeah,
get
yeah.
exactly that.
But like, no, I would really like to see that in a live action, like me personally. But like, I mean, Brian, you're absolutely correct. They're like really like cartoony, very
Victor
like you're gonna
Zsasz
see them in the
is
animated.
a
series.
perfect person that could fit in this universe.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Victor
yeah.
Zsasz, 100%. Guy's a
Yeah,
fucking
with
that
with
dude.
like how grounded this show is, and with what we've been given, especially as like being a mafia hitman and stuff like
Yeah.
that, dude, he would just.
He would fucking easily be.
Oh, dude, it would be one of those characters where you're like, hey,
there he is. There he is. All righty, boys. Ratings, real quick.
9.
solid 9, dude. Yeah, solid 9.
9, dude.
Nines all around, dude. Nines, banger, dude.
Yeah.
Banger. Dope. Onwards to the last part of the conversation before we end the day. Boys, it is week of weeks. We had New York Comic Con, of course, as a recap and a big thing for nerds. But of course, major pop off for next week and for Spider-Man fans, especially for Venom fans. Venom 3 is popping off. I think it comes next week already, if I'm not mistaken. Boys, how do we feel about this? How do we feel about Venom?
Listen, I've said it before. I think on my last episode that I was here, or I might have checked in or something like that. The most recent art that I took time out of my day to get to know was The King in Black, and this is right up my alley. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how they do their adaptation. They're probably gonna fuck it up 1000%.
Yeah, but I don't feel like it's gonna be a King in Black. I think it's going to have aspects of it.
I think it's
That's-
going to build into it.
That's fine. That's fine. It's gonna go into it. Yeah,
I think it's going to go into it with Spider-Man 4, and I think Spider-Man 4 is going to be the King in Black.
exactly.
I think this is going to be like a Thanos, like to go after Earth is to court death, and you see him turn around and smile. The first Avengers movie, like I feel like we're just going to get little like sprinkles of maybe like a
it's been said.
smile.
It's
We
been
have to see
said
the
that
teeth. That's all I
it's
know.
it's been said that he's going to be a major. He's basically gonna be the Thanos. Yeah, he's going to be the Thanos of the Spider-Verse, basically.
But what are we looking at in the sense of them making another film close to this time? Like, how long are we going to have to wait between these two movies?
Dude, and they're gonna have to live action Miles Morales then. Like they're gonna have to do something because
Immediately.
Yeah, because like
Yeah, you,
this
you
is
see what we're talking about, right? Like with all this stuff, like there's so much of like a time,
Yeah.
like everything is based on time right now. Being
Instead
that
of us
Marvel is
getting a
like
fucking
years.
Craven movie, I would have rather have gotten a movie with fucking Miles Morales or something that introduces
100%, 100%.
Or
Like
even if
if
they
that's the
started
case,
during Madam Web, dude. Can you
Madam
imagine if they
Web.
would
Like,
have?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
oh
It's
yeah,
a wasting time, bro. If
yeah.
you're
They
gonna go,
could have. They could have added those 2 extra years, man.
if you're
To make
gonna
this film.
go, if you're gonna go in the no, like
this
direction,
quickly,
you could
yeah.
have fucking been did this like in Morbius or something like that, like something you could have fucking dropped the seeds, but you're gonna kind of like force no on us. And again, someone that actually liked King and Black and knows how integral Miles Morales is, now you're gonna fucking shoehorn Miles Morales in this shit, and it's gonna be kind of
Yeah. Yeah, I was literally thinking about that the other day because, of course, like we all have our series that we're very passionate about. Mine, I really like the Jane Foster series. That's why I'm always really mad about all that shit. Um, Triggs, I always talk to him about it, that he's super big on Secret Wars, and I'm big on Secret Wars too. And I know, Brian, you are also. But I know that you got really into the King in Black series when it was popping off.
Which
like,
is
when it was,
fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
it's good.
Like
yo.
I thought you
good,
chose.
yo.
I thought you chose the fucking
fucking great
amazing
series to jump in
series.
on,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like, cause like for me, like King in Black is very much like Siege to me, right? Like it has its deaths, its big deaths, and it has its like
Big moments.
story changing moments where like like that are still being felt right now.
You know it, baby.
And yeah, and like dude, it's one of those where I like when you were like, bro, King in Black is my shit, or we're like me and Chris were like, yeah, that's fair, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, knowing that we had a series about taking the Venom symbiote and saying that there was like this cosmic entity that kind of like controlled it all, I was like, okay, cool, more lore and backstory to the Venom, and then having it to where you have Cletus Cassidy going around killing every motherfucker that's ever had a symbiote outfit. And then they were like, Venom's out there like, oh shit, Carnage out there killing fuckers to rip out their spines. Ripping out their spines? Are you fucking kidding me? That's in a Marvel comic? What the hell? Like, that's shit in the Predator movie. You're telling me this dude's doing it in comic books?
Yeah.
So like it had its thing. And then not only that, you had this really interesting dichotomy that like they even brought, like, the craziest thing is even right now they're still working with shit with the whole King in Black series. I don't know if you saw
I want to say
that Spider-Man was
The
even
whole
like the
Meridius
King in
thing?
Black.
I want to say one thing. The only reason why I picked that series to follow is because it was new. It was
Yes.
new. It was something that they could still build on right as of right now. But go ahead.
They're still, dude. Right
Hey
now,
man,
they
it's
just
cool,
dropped
dude.
the
Like
series.
that's a big reason as to why Secret Wars is mine.
Yeah.
You know, like 2015, I kind of really like in 2015 I left comics.
Yeah.
You know, like I left. I was in the military, so like my comic book binging was slowed down drastically. So
Yeah.
like when Secret Wars came out, I was already out of basic. You know, and I was just like, oh my god. And so like Secret Wars and what was it?
Siege.
And Time Runs Out.
But
You know, we're already finished. And I was just, and so when I picked it up, I was like, this story is fucking amazing.
It's dope.
This is like life-changing shit for like Marvel. Like they fucking rebooted right after that. You know, like they straight rebooted right after that. And like, I mean, they dropped the ball just like with New 52, and then
they dropped the ball in that. But
like, but you know, like, hey man, they came back strong. You know, Jonathan Hickman's doing stuff still. You know, like can't keep Good Boy down. But you know, like the thing is that like right after that, dude. I mean, like, what ended up happening? You know, our next great story after that, what was it? The Jane Foster thing, and then you know, and then we had King in Black, the War of Realms as well. You know,
Well, I mean, even going into the factor of what we're talking about, like, what was it? We were just, I don't even know what I was saying, man. Gee, I just got fucking sidetracked. We were talking about, right now in the comic books of, right now in the Spider-Man series, we just saw that there's even an alternate universe that Spider-Man, being that he wore the Venom outfit and he's using the Venom outfit in some of the comic books right now, that he got a vision of him being the King in Black also.
Oh,
like
yeah.
a future where he's fighting his own daughter, who he believes killed his wife, and the mother, because she's this character called like the Tarantula or like something like that, and then she comes out and she's like, "Nah, fuck you, man, I didn't kill her. You're the bitch or whatever." Like it's crazy to see that Spider-Man in his future of being connected to Null and all this shit saw himself as the King in Black being this like egregious cosmic villain, and then seeing Eddie Brock as it, and then Eddie Brock's son, and like all of this crazy like cosmic story dealing with Spider-Man. The most friendliest neighborhood Spider-Man is like this crazy multiversal fucking entity. It's so crazy how big the King in Black story stretches. So crazy. So to see that he's coming out in film, it's like I said before, and I'll say it again. I just want them to get him right.
They're not.
Like I want them to get, and Brian, look at Brian. Brian's like, nah, not gonna happen, not gonna happen. Because it's just that idea of making sure that we get him.
You can't.
At how vast he is.
No. There's no way you're gonna be able to put Noel in a movie that's not fully about him. And get him right. There's no way. That guy is so complex, and his story is so complex. There's just no way, bro.
So I'm going to ask you, because you're more of a character or a person that's entwined for this story. Are you excited for this series? Like, are you excited for them to bring Null, like, or what they're going to do with him? Or are you kind of nervous? Like, oh man, like, because do you just want them to get him right? Like, how would you want them to get him right?
I kind of already understand that there's no way for them for a movie adaptation of Null to get right is impossible. So you see, I kind of have you guys to have as like I don't want to say role models, but like not to get my expectations up, because I was reading that comic and realized that there's no way to adapt.
Yeah, it's hard as fuck, dude.
There's
Right?
no way, bro.
Yeah,
like,
there's
yeah, dude, and that's why, like, especially like because this all really started with Secret Wars, because we knew Secret Wars was coming, right? Yeah. We knew Secret Wars was gonna come, and you know, when Chris would ask me like, "Dude, how do you feel? How do you feel?" I was like, "No, like I'm not going to expect a lot, because it's not that like Marvel has been fucking up that bad." But there's literally zero
way. There's no way.
Zero way to put that comic onto film with what has been given to us right now. And on top of that, they have what, 2-3 more years before they're going to give me Secret Wars? No.
I'm just going to ask this in the Secret Wars sense.
Oh God, here we go.
How do you install the Young Avengers into it?
Here we go.
I don't know. Like, let me smoke a blunt and we'll see what happens, dude.
I mean, we're starting it. We're starting it now with Agatha. Like, I mean, we already have Hawk Girl and Kate Bishop, and she went to Yelena, and we have the Young Avengers. They're there.
No, and I'm not asking like what. No, I'm saying like, because we all know, all three of us know that there are assets missing.
Of course,
for Secret Wars to be effective as from comic to live action.
Not just a lot though. Like a lot to even get
like 98% of it.
No,
I mean, they went up that Doom, so they did something.
Yeah, they got something right.
There was no way they
Robert Downey Jr., man.
Even
which now makes me think like, okay, I'm getting 2015 Secret Wars. I'm not getting 1984.
Yeah,
Secret
we're not getting 1984. It's going to be just a bunch of set.
I told you that was going to happen. I was saying that. Everyone was like, no, it's going to be the 80s one, and I was like, it's going to be
the only person that was pulling for the 80s fucking version.
Yeah,
we're going to get a film where fucking David Carradine flies out in a white suit, and he's like, "All right, you villains and you heroes, fight it out on this planet and not give you guys some fun."
And then he's gonna choke himself.
Yeah. And you know what? We would not be fucking disappointed, because all we're gonna get is just a bunch of fucking action scenes, and that's it. And we all go home.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, if you gave me Secret Wars that was nothing but a John Wick movie, fucking go for it, dude.
Shit, dude.
Fucking go for it.
Even I said it as a joke, but having David Carradine be the Beyonder would be great, dude. Or what's his name? David Hasselhoff, dude. David Hasselhoff in a white, yeah, bro. As the Beyonder, when he just stands up and he's like Kung Fury, dude.
Listen, if I see David Hasselhoff anywhere near a Marvel, I'm walking out of that movie, bro.
That'd be dope, dude.
That'd be
Immediately,
hilarious.
immediately, bro.
Look, watch.
That'd
I'm
be
gonna tell you.
I don't want to see
Look at this. Look at
Baywatch,
this dude, man.
old ass Baywatch David Hasselhoff and fucking
Bitch
Right
ass.
here, baby.
I'm good,
Look
bro.
at this dude, man. That's David
Knock your
Hasselhoff,
bitch
man.
ass out.
Look at this dude right here, man. That's David. Look at this dude right here. That's David Hasselhoff if I've ever seen
Maybe like
David
30
Hasselhoff.
years ago,
Get the
maybe.
Fuck
Oh,
outta
that's
here,
so
dude.
dope, man. Right here. look
Dude,
at
give
this
me
guy.
Luke Evans, bro. That's all I want. Just give me Luke Evans. Is
This
something.
looks like the dude that interviewed Kamala Harris on Fox News. That Brit guy. They should put him in that show, dude.
Oh my
Look at this
God.
dude, man. White ass suit, high collar. Look at this guy right here.
And you know what
Joe-
it is? Like,
Joe bitch ass.
I liked the 2015 Jonathan Hickman run, dude. But like, I don't know, man. There's no way they could pull that. There's absolutely no way they can pull this off in fucking 2024. With
No, but imagine being in the writer's room and someone walks in with a bitch ass thing and be like, "This is a Beyonder. Yo, we should write a comic book about this guy right here."
who's gonna be the Beyonder right now in the MCU? Who's gonna be the?
I don't know.
The movie's coming out next year. Who is the Beyonder?
I don't
Who?
know, man.
I don't
If you
Kang?
make him look like this, I hope they don't choose anybody, bro. Nobody gonna be wearing this fucking 1980s ass suit, just walking around 1970s and shit. David Hasselhoff and Knight Rider, motherfucking ass white suit. Get out of here with that shit.
The whole
It's
story,
crazy.
the whole story revolves around that guy basically, and you
In
telling me that-
'84, yes.
well, basically, but like, there's no way that you're gonna introduce. Even in 2015, he was like extremely integral in the story.
His
going into
people were. He, like, that particular Beyonder was like mentioned, and then they were like, and then that was it.
Okay, so you have a year.
But like his people were.
his people. You have a year to introduce that. How?
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. It's like, dude, it's hard. It's very hard.
The
But if you
only
go
thing
around
that the
and
only
say
thing that I
backstory-
could the only thing that I could think of is that what they're gonna have to do is they're going to have to time runs out several movies.
Yep, 100%.
Make several movies as the time runs out stories, so that way when Secret Wars comes, it's a little bit more tied in. And the reason that I say that is because people are still wondering, how is it that the Fantastic Four are going to be introduced now if they were there in the 60s, 70s?
Yep.
So the only, like, I wouldn't mind this if this was given to me, that they were like displaced, and in those 40, 50 years that they've been gone, they saw the Beyonders and have been running from them or something like that.
The time runs out spans like what, 3 years? Like, how long did that shit take, bro? Like,
A
that's
long time.
I
that was a long fucking time, and they're gonna try to.
Hey
cram
man,
that
I'm
in
not
before-
saying it's gonna be perfect, bro.
No, but
Yeah. I'm not saying it's gonna be perfect.
to technically run it, like
I'm
the Deadpool-
spitballing at best.
Well, the Deadpool Wolverine movie kind of almost followed the Time Runs Out Deadpool series.
Okay.
Like, it's him partying on a yacht with everyone he loves around him, and then the incursion happens. If you technically think about it, Deadpool was about his world being about to be erased by the incursion, but him doing the Wolverine thing and bringing it back, he found a loophole. So like,
and,
it's kind
and
of
we've already been introduced to the incursions as per Doctor
Doctor
Strange.
Strange.
So like I said, Time Runs Out is gonna have to be several movies.
Yeah. And the greatest movie, The Marvels, dude. They
love
introduced the
Vertigo.
incursion, remember?
Relax.
Relax. Relax.
He's
But
like, first of
straight
all, you watch your mouth, all right?
I had to ask. Venom 3, we got it coming out. Null is coming. Brian, this is your Secret Wars because you were more of a bigger fan of the King in Black. For me, I'm in the same boat. Apparently, after Brave New World, that's supposed to lead into World War Hulk. World War Hulk is one of my favorite comic book series, like through and through. I am dying to not see it. Like, I'm really like, there's no way, dude. There's no
I'm gonna
fucking.
watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch the shit out of it, but I'm just like super nervous as to how they're gonna pull it off. But yeah. Are you excited for the Null series? Are you excited for him to come out? Like, how do you feel about all this?
I'm kind of nervous only because I know that it's Sony that we're talking here, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have a good track record with me, so like they're definitely gonna. I mean, honestly, the only saving grace is that he's not gonna be a big part of this movie, And so if Venom 3 shits the bed, shits the bed,
Shits the
it can
bed.
just shit the bed on its own and not have much to do with Null. But it's still, I don't know if it's gonna give me much hope looking forward into the future. But to have Null in the MCU, or I'm sorry, not the MCU, in the Sony universe, bro, it's kind of cool.
And one more question, and this is for both of you: Cap or trash? If you think it's true or not that Tom Hardy says this is his last film, yay or nay? Think he's
believe
bullshit, or
That money talks, bro.
you
Everyone,
think he's
everyone
off
talks tough. Everyone talks tough until someone starts waving a check in their fucking face, bro.
Yeah, until they give him that.
I
top
mean,
quote.
yeah, I mean, we all said the same thing with fucking RDJ, dude, and well, we all know that.
He's
was-
back
look
as
at that
fucking
guy.
Doom. Yeah, exactly.
Bro, that was us in the chat when I was like, "Oh, no, they're not gonna use that kid. He was in fucking that one show, Runaways." And you're like, "Man, fuck that kid in that show, man." I was like, "Shit, you're not wrong." Fucking Tony Stark.
No, I was like, yo, Tony Stark is back as fucking Doom, bro. Like,
yeah,
everything's possible.
if there
bro.
is no one is safe, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking Scarlett Johansson's gonna come back and she gonna working at McDonald's in the
So
movie,
yeah, so like
character.
yeah, if we're gonna follow the same logic, then yeah, dude, Cap. You know,
Yeah.
like that's all Cap. But
I
like,
100% think that guy's full of shit when he's like, "Nah, it's my last movie." It's like, bitch, they just did a new contract for Spider-Man, and
What else is he doing? What else is he doing with his time? What else did he do?
honestly, right now, like, and this one kind of hits a little bit close to home, only because like I'm a bartender and like I get it. You know, like good for him is that he's trying to launch his new non-alcoholic beer, dude. Fucking good for him, dude. Good for his alcoholism and stuff like that. You know, like I get it, man. You know, like, dude, it was a personal thing for him, dude. He had like a 3-hour podcast, like interview podcast for it, where he was like talking about his alcoholism. So fucking, I'm all for it, man.
Do you guys drink non-alcoholic beer?
Not on your life.
Yeah, fuck that. Just
I mean,
drink
I
water,
don't,
bitch.
but-
Okay, let me ask Brian. Are you a drinker? You drink beer? Like you like beer? Like I think you've talked about.
Dude, you seriously? We've
IPs
seen
and
him
all that
drink
stuff.
IPAs on this show.
Yeah, I think you're drinking a solo cup right now, man.
Demonetizing your show. Yes, I have been drinking beer on your show. Yes, absolutely.
I was about to be like, bro, we have seen him get lit on this show.
Itty baby.
I've been drinking Jameson's this entire show, by the way. So yeah, go ahead.
What non-alcoholic beer like? Is that like
Listen,
a big thing? Or?
It's a big thing. I just stopped bartending again. Non-alcoholic beer is still a thing.
Yeah.
People drink it, and I get it. I used to laugh when I was younger, you know, about people that used to do it, but I get it. I get it with people that are recovering, people that just want to hang out. Sometimes they have friend groups that only they hang out if they're drinking, so
Specific
they don't want to
types,
feel if they don't want to feel left out. I get it, bro. Me personally, I would just rather just not drink at all. I'd rather just drink fucking water if I was gonna be at a bar or whatever, or a soda. But you know, there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay. Well, I mean, like Trig said, the guy, it's been a passion project for him. He's running this thing, but
that's not gonna pay your bills, though, bro. Like that's an investment. Like you,
hey man, if it launches though,
no, that's fine. Again, that's still an investment, and then you don't know when you're gonna see that investment back. But the thing that puts the bread on the table is acting. So it's like.
Yes.
Just because you're recovering doesn't mean you can't act, bro. So
hey man, his fiance is getting that bread, dog. Don't worry about him.
That's fair, but I don't. I guess. I mean, yeah. I don't want to.
Yeah, man, you ain't got to worry about Mr. Holland.
I don't want to.
Zendaya's worrying about Mr. Holland.
I'm pretty sure he's set for life. If he never acted another day in his fucking life, I'm pretty sure he's set to go.
Yeah, he would be A-okay.
Well, actually, wait.
This is like a legacy thing, though, right? This is a legacy thing. Like you're Spider-Man, bro. Like, what's wrong about being Spider-Man, bro? You're too old or what?
What we're talking about also is it's not just Tom Holland. Tom Hardy too said that this is going to be his last performance as Venom.
That I see. Like honestly, I see more as I do Venom. Like
kind of with Brian.
I'm sure, but dude, this guy has had way more roles than Tom Holland has.
Yeah, I mean,
not many. These are two. I'm glad we're talking about these two people specifically because RDJ could say fuck MCU. I can go. He went and made fucking what's the bomb movie? Fucking Oppenheimer. He went and did Oppenheimer and got a Grammy for that, or an Oscar for that shit.
Yep.
Like, he's got a life outside of the MCU.
Oh yeah.
Tom Hardy
Holland.
and Tom Holland, they have had multiple opportunities to make a name for themselves outside of the MCU after being in the MCU, and they don't do shit. That Cherry movie was trash. Anything Tom Holland does is trash outside of the MCU, bro.
True. 100%.
So why? So, like, dude, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, just if that's where your meal ticket is, just do that. Like, that's fine, bro. Like, I don't understand why making the bold statement, oh, this is gonna be it for me. Why close that door? Why do that to yourself? Leave the option open. Leave the option open. There's nothing wrong with you being Spider-Man, bro.
Yeah, but I don't see it as them closing the door. I think it's just like, hey, my time with this character is done.
Why?
You know, and but hold on, like the fact that like they're at least stating that, I mean, might just be them saying like, hey, I'm now going to focus on other things. You know, like I can also understand from like a artistic standpoint that, like, especially when it comes to Tom Holland, dude, the kid was like fucking what, 16, like when he started playing Spider-Man, 17, like 18, you know, and that's been his career the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And like, man. No, well, that's not. Well, that is totally true.
That's your first fucking role that you landed or whatever. Like, fucking, you're blessed for the rest of your life.
Yeah, well, that's like, while I do not at all disagree with that, at the same time, like, I'm sure he's like, dude, I really want to do something else, like with myself.
So you can do something else. You don't have to, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not faulting the guy for wanting to do something else. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he shouldn't do other things. What I'm saying is don't make a public statement saying, "Oh, this is it for that." Like, that's kind of closing the door on that. Like, you could do other things without making that statement, because you never know what's going to happen. You could put your money into so many investments. You could put your time into so many other acting gigs and it not work out. And then now you're going to have to fucking eat crow and go back to having to be Spider-Man again. Yep. You didn't have to do that. You could
RDJ said the same thing. While granted, I understand that their positions are different. The statement was still said. It still holds the same water.
As long as
RDJ, you know, still closed the book. And on multiple occasions did that on Joe Rogan, did that in many interviews, did that on several podcasts. Fair. That man had multiple times said, I am not coming back to the MCU. It's
but
done.
As long as you understand and you state that there is a distinction between the two, I'm fine with that statement.
Because there's a 25-year fucking distinction.
Exactly. So
I totally get that. So but that's also what I'm saying is that, like, good for him for at least stating like, hey, you know what? I'm going to be putting Spider-Man behind me because I'm going to try other things out. Hey, if they don't work and he fucking has to like come back to Spider-Man, is anyone really going to hold that against him?
What I'm saying is you can do that without, and again, I guess it's kind of the semantics. You can do that without having to say that statement because now you look kind of weird. Saying that and then having to go back to Spider-Man. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to say it. You can just.
Like, I wonder if it's like Andrew Garfield, like when he played the Wolf game, or what is it that he talked where he was like, "No, I'm not in Spider-Man 3." Like, no, I don't know you're all talking. And then he fucking comes out and it's like, "Yeah, I lied. Yeah, I'm sorry." Or like, what's her face?
Dude, Benedict Cumberbatch did the same thing.
Yeah, like I wonder if it's like that, right? Because we do know that a month and a half ago they did a new contract for Spider-Man, and it just so happens that Venom is coming out with the whole like, here's Null, and you know how important Venom is, Eddie Brock's character, in the overarching story of Null and the King in Black. And then it just so happens that rumors are going around right now that Spider-Man 4 is literally
contract. You keep mentioning a contract. What contract are you talking about?
Spider-Man, the Tom Holland contract for Spider-Man in Sony to Marvel. They just did a contract like a month and a half ago.
No, it says that it's unclear whether he signed a contract.
Yeah, I don't think the last contract. Yeah, I know for sure that he did was a couple years ago, and that was a holdout. Like he had a holdout. Like he was holding out playing Spider-Man because he wanted more money. Then he got it, and I don't know about another contract after that.
Yeah, I do believe that they recently just did a contract. It was being talked about like literally last month.
Probably
Like,
being spoken about, but I mean, you know, like as it
That
is
would make
in the same interview that Tom Holland was talking about his non-alcoholic beer, he even talked about like his role with Spider-Man and saying that he now feels that like he has a little bit more step down power with like and being able to hold his own with certain things that he feels that he doesn't have to be as coerced as he once was. And he has RDJ's like he references RDJ like helping him with that in like not being like so easily pushed around.
yeah, literally, it was being talked about a month ago. I'll pull it up right now just so you guys can see on.
Okay, so
And Sony and Marvel are reportedly working on a new deal that allows Spider-Man to appear in other MCU projects. Sony and Marvel are reportedly working on a new deal that allows Spider-Man to appear in MCU projects.
okay, so unconfirmed.
Yeah.
So unconfirmed.
Again, this was like a month ago, but if it's being talked about online,
Wait a minute.
if people
So unconfirmed.
about it online, it's all right that it's unconfirmed because they're not going to release contract information right now, especially knowing that.
Hold on. Let me go make a Reddit, and I'm gonna go get some. I'm gonna go get some stills, and I'm gonna go post something. Does that mean I'm confirmed? Does that mean I have? Does that mean I have water?
Being that this is via Daniel RPK, who is a huge
He's reputable.
rumors and releaser, you can't talk shit about this guy. He's really like facts, dude. If he's talking about it, that means that thing is literally being worked on right
You
now.
see, Triggs, this is what I'm saying. If you don't make that statement, none of this looks weird. None of this looks weird. You don't have to say it. Just do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to say it because now if you sign another deal, whether it's rumor or not, you look weird saying that statement now.
Yeah. And I get it if it's one of those things that they're trying to be like, well, we're not about these people are like, well, I'm not really interested in redoing it and blah blah blah. Like I get it if they're doing the Andrew Garfield thing, but they have to break contract. And I'm only saying this because we talked about this when it first dropped. Because I said that since Tom Holland was becoming more of a popular character and he was supposed to be the front head of Marvel, they needed to redo a contract. But now that Venom, now that they have the Null story, now they have to write that story for Tom Hardy's Venom character to be in future MCU projects. Because you need to have Venom in that story. You need to. It doesn't make sense if you don't have him. It makes zero fucking sense if it's just Spider-Man versus Null. You can't do that.
That's why it doesn't make sense for Tom Hardy to say that either, because you never know what's gonna come around the corner, bro. You never know. Like they're gonna go in. You never know.
The only reason that I say that Tom Hardy is going to be fine is because, like, no offense at all to Tom Holland, but we don't look at Tom Holland and we're like, oh, that's Venom. No.
Yeah.
I'm not like, he's not as typecasted as Tom Holland is. He has range. He's done other things.
Yeah.
So
he's good.
It's not so much that like he's going to be, or that even Tom Holland is going to be like hurting for work. But Tom Hardy has, well, one, been in the industry longer. Two, has also like done more with his career and in different things. Like there's one movie with Tom Hardy where he just talks into a phone for 2.5 hours. Ironically, it was also a movie with Tom Holland in it. But like, yeah, I'm just saying there's more range to Tom Hardy than there is to Tom Holland. And no offense, and like no disrespect to him.
I like them both in this conversation because I think they're very comparable. I think that
I understand where like you get the comparability.
I get what you're saying, but regardless of all of that, they're both known for their superhero characters.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, but Tom Hardy's not defined by his superhero character.
That's a good point. Tom Hardy does have a lot more. I mean, you look at Bronson. You can go back to the
look at Warrior. Look at Band of Brothers. You know, like, dude. You can spout Tom. Dude, Inception. Like, I think that was one of the big first Tom Hardy movies that I saw him. He was in fucking Star Trek.
When I think of Inception, I don't think of Tom Hardy.
Yeah, you think of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Honestly, I do, because he was such
Venom.
a great
Again, I hate bringing this up, but Venom is a $1 billion movie. Like I hate having to keep bringing this, like, the money shit up. Venom is a billion-dollar movie. So for you,
I get it.
So for you to convince me that Tom Hardy is known for something other than Venom is gonna be hard for me to realize. It's gonna be hard for me to believe. That's a billion-dollar movie, bro. He is known as Venom. I'm sorry. And I love Tom Hardy, but he is known as Venom.
I would have to very, very respectfully disagree.
I mean, it all determins on who you're going to watch, right? Because most people are going to recognize him as, like, for me, I loved him in.
Or how about Bane, his first $1 billion movie?
Yeah,
I don't think that. If you would have asked people right now, which movie do you put?
You recognize Tom Hardy in?
It's not gonna be Bane. It's not gonna be Bane in Batman. It's gonna be Venom. That's just my opinion. I think that.
And respectfully, I get it. You know, and it's a fair point. But I mean, if one of the biggest, you know, or if one of the points was
what was his better performance?
No, I'm not saying better performance.
I'm just saying.
I'm talking about $1 billion.
I know you're not saying.
You know, like
which movie do I prefer to see him in? Is Bane in Batman.
1,000% is a good movie too.
Yeah, 1,000%. Warrior is a fucking better movie than anything I've ever seen.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Mad Max. Yeah, all these movies.
And by the way, neither Venom was a $1 billion movie.
The first one wasn't a $1 billion movie.
No, it was 856.
It's close. That's pretty. It
ain't $1 billion.
What other movie? Okay, yeah, what other movie of Tom Hardy came even close to that?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Batman.
Besides Batman. That was just
okay.
him as the lead role.
Looking. Hold on. No.
Yeah, like it's kind of hard to say that Batman is something that you're gonna like be like, oh, that's him, because he's always wearing the Venom mask too, right? Or the Bane mask. So you don't really get to see his face. With Venom, you get to see his full face. But then again, that's like Warrior. I think Warrior literally has more recognition for Tom Hardy. But like, or even Mad Max, like I said, because you get to see his face and he's really out there and stuff like that. The Venom series, I feel like they didn't really utilize him really well, and he's kind of silly.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mad Max didn't do all that well. It was 380. Yeah.
But like I said, I really liked him in Bronson. That's where I always remember him. He did a bunch of silly shit in that movie. There was also this one TV show that he does, The Carnival. I think it's a really great show also.
Yeah. Plus, dude, I mean, Alfie Solomon's in Peaky Blinders.
Pinky Blinders is cool. But yeah, I mean, Venom is going to be like his most recent iconic series that he's a part of right now. Like the majority of household people would probably see him in Venom. I agree with that. Like Venom is going to be the movie that people realize he's in. But yeah, I don't think he's out there doing a lot of other films that are going to make money like Spider-Man. If I was going to tell
that's
you
why you don't make that statement, because you know
I think it's a dumb statement for him to be like, yeah, this is the last Venom movie I'm going to do.
But very much like how the conversation was for Todd Phillips, he's going to be fine. Like even if he did make that movie, he'll be fine.
Yeah,
he's literally like ultimately at the end of the day, he's going to be okay. Like no one's going to be like, what the fuck, Tom Hardy? You said you weren't going to be Venom anymore.
I think he's being cheeky, and I think he's saying like, this is going to be my last Venom movie, but that's because Venom now is going to be in Spider-Man King in Black. It's not going to be like Venom.
His words were like, his exact words were, and I quote, "It's it for me and the big guy."
Oh well.
I mean, sure, if you want to leave that up for interpretation or semantic the fuck out of it, go for it. But these were his words, and I quote, that's it for me and the big guy.
I think that's just to kind of keep people hyped in case he does come back. I think 100% Spider-Man 4 King in Black with Tom Hardy as Venom is going to be a...
Hey, man, fucking Patrick Stewart said he was done with Charles Xavier, and fucking he came back twice.
Fucking Dr.
Strange. Fucking money.
Money. Dr. Strange.
Exactly.
He told him, hey, you know what?
That's why it's dumb as hell to make the fucking statement, because when Marvel starts waving that fucking check in front of your face, you're going to fucking come back, bro. That's
when they come in and they give you one of those guns with all the $100.
Dude, I'm not even going to say it's dumb, bro. Like, hey, man, I'm done with the fucking... if they, like, okay, fine. If we're going to, like, pander to fucking Brian right now, I'm done with the character, ... for now.
For now.
Yeah.
For now.
Or just not say anything at all.
Yeah, that's not. It's
Or
just
just
like
don't say
right
anything
now
at
for
all.
this moment at this right
But just
now
don't
during
say
this
anything
interview.
at all. That's my whole point. You don't have to say
Um,
anything. Just go do whatever it is. If you want to go be a fucking Methodist actor and go do some Broadway shit, go
Yeah,
do
do
that
it.
shit.
Don't
Go
even
do it.
talk about Venom.
Go do it. Just don't talk about you never. This is it for me over here at the MCU, or this is it for me over here at fucking Sony. Yeah, because you know what? If that shit fails over there, guess where you're gonna be, bro? You'll be putting on a fucking suit and fucking walking
In
around in fucking
Marvel, and you're gonna be
spandex.
like, I love
Yeah,
this place.
exactly. I love this place.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love this place.
looking
Whoa,
all
it's
weird
not
and
the
shit,
Dollar General
bro.
Marvel, dude.
But okay, if that's the case, then let me ask you this, Brian: do you consider RDJ just as weird for making his statements about the
100%.
MCU
It's all
If I'm
semantics, man.
being
with the same logic you were just
if
using
I'm
right
being
now?
honest, yes, absolutely,
Okay.
Yeah.
1000%.
All right.
It's all semantics, dude.
I'm
You
not
look at
gonna.
them
Yeah,
and
I'm.
it's
I'm
like,
not gonna change it just because it's RDJ. I think that's weird. Because if you're well, first off, I don't even know if he. I don't know if he defiantly came out and said exactly what. I think that's my issue. Is that these guys are coming out and saying absolutely no, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't know if RDJ actually said that. I don't know
So
if he emphatically said that he was done.
So he did, right? I
Okay.
promise you he did. Like
Okay.
I because like I'm a huge Joe Rogan fan. Like I mean I don't always agree with the shit that he says,
Yeah.
but I love the fact that him and fucking RGJ smoked a blunt, and you know they were talking about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know one of the things that he was saying, you know, like your time with the MCU, you know, this is already after Endgame, right?
Yeah.
He's like, dude, I closed that chapter. I closed that chapter, right? And you know, like the only big thing that came out of that was fucking Oppenheimer, and like that was it. You know, it's like I think kind of like to like what you were saying, and like another thing that like he was talking about for Endgame, they're like one of the and it wasn't that too long, like it wasn't that long ago. They were like, hey man, so like what was your paycheck for Endgame, dude? It was stupid.
yeah, he's the most highly paid guy. Sorry about that.
Do you know how much he got
Highly
paid
on the internet? Like,
And so again, like, do you know how much he's getting paid for these upcoming movies?
Oh, dude, it's
talked about that,
ridiculous.
didn't we? Like 80 million, or what was the fucking number that he
So
was
that's
getting?
what I'm saying. So like, yeah,
He's
I don't.
totally
I'm not
banking,
gonna.
bro.
I'm not gonna make any excuses for RDJ. Yeah, he could have very well said, "Listen, I'm never coming back to them." But again, just like with Tom Hardy and Tom Holland, once they start waving that money in front of your face, it's just better off not saying anything at all. This is Disney we're talking about. They have more money than God, bro.
You know what's
Like,
fucking funny is going with that idea. New York Comic Con, they did the whole revealing RDJ as Doctor Doom and all that shit at the San Diego Comic Con, right? A couple of months ago when he came out and he did the whole Doom shit and the Russo brothers, whatever. I'll never forget what Anthony Mackie said. And Anthony Mackie said, God damn it, Robert Downey Jr. could have given me this one. We just dropped the trailer for the Falcon. Everyone was all hyped. I had my moment. And then this motherfucker comes out and says he's coming back. Like, what the fuck? You could have given me that one. And he's like, fucking, let me tell you, RDJ once invited me over to his trailer, and his fucking chef dug a hole and cooked a goat, like right then and there. And this guy fed me goat and all this, and I'll never forget that. And I'm like, can you imagine that RDJ? We've heard all these rumors about his trailer setup in the Marvel thing, where it's like almost a small city, like of his own fucking device, dude.
no, it's already been reported on what he's asking for these next coming movies, and it's basically the same thing.
Yeah,
it's astronomical.
And he's gonna get
astronomical.
I just wanted to say just to close this, and then I'm done with this topic. The difference between Tom Hardy and Tom Holland, and then RDJ, is again these little caveats that yes, RDJ has been at this for years. So when a seasoned vet comes out and says, "Hey, I'm done playing this Marvel character," it's cool. It's cool. When young actors that are in the prime of their career saying that I'm done doing this one role that is bringing me this much success, I don't think that makes much sense. And there is a huge difference there. Huge. And I just think that it's silly. I don't think that it gets you.
It helps them out
because I don't think like you got to be careful about who's listening, right? So if you piss somebody off by saying that, you could be flushing. Yeah, you could have other opportunities, but you could be pissing away the biggest payday of your fucking career just because of whatever that is. And that is the difference between RDJ and these two other guys.
True.
All right. And to end what you're about to say, this is where I respectfully disagree or agree to disagree, is because while that might be the true, like, while that is true, yes, you just said the prime of their career. That's when they should be exploring other roles. That's when they should be, trying to see what their range is, trying to do these things. Now, the fact that it was said is one thing. If they were like, fuck Marvel, I'm never coming back because this is what's up, then okay, that is 100% trying to like close that door. They've pissed off the correct people. Cool. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm done with the role for now, or like I'm done with the role. This is it for me. Cool, man. I can guarantee you another fucking guy will be like, "Are you sure about that? How many? Like 180 million right now? You still done?" That I see those conversations going a little bit differently than you do, but I understand where you're coming from. I also understand, backpedaling. People backpedal. Fucking, it happens all the time. I mean, what actor in the MCU hasn't done that by now, except for like Scarlett Johansson? They closed the door on her though. But that's like one of those things where like I'd have to say, and even now, like I'm just reading this right now, so as it is, I kind of have to like recant my statement on Tom Holland. He's already saying that he's ready to do a 4.
Yeah, that motherfucker ain't making money anywhere else, man.
Smart man.
Yeah. So so I will recant my statement on Tom Holland. He is saying that he's ready to do a 4, but he's saying that now he's in the creative process for number 4, which is good. Good for him. Like he gets to mold his character his way, or have a hand in molding his character his way. So good for him. Tom Hardy, well, who knows? We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes. Guys, what about you? What do you think? Are you excited for Venom 3? Comes out this weekend. Do you got your ticket? Are you excited to see Null, the symbiote god, come out? Let us know in the comment section. If not, hit us up on our DMs during the week and let us know if you get to go see the movie so that way we can talk about it next week. Brian, Triggs, I love you guys. Thank you guys for giving me your night. I know we went, we're at another 3 hours. I wanted to stop like at 10:30, but Venom, man, kind of, grinding my gears here, right? I got to thank you guys so much for being here with me. Brian, again, it's so good to have you back. As you saw in the comment sections, people missed you. They missed all of us together. I appreciate you guys so much. Everybody out in the comment section, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in and joining us and jumping in the comment section. To everybody that was out there and always supporting us, we appreciate every one of you. To all of our extraordinary listeners, thank you guys so much. Don't forget, like us. We're trying to get our YouTube channel kind of picked up a little bit more. If you have to YouTube, look us up, subscribe, jump on. We have a lot of the stuff that we do here already. It just goes that way. But yeah, I want to say thank you guys so much. Brian and Triggs, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me and being able to make it. I'm so happy that I got you guys back on the show. Hopefully it's consistent, like we get each other back on here and it's not like you guys get things that are jumping at you anymore and you guys get to relax with me more and talk nerd, baby. We're going to be looking at having a couple of guests come through in the next couple of weeks. So next, in like 2 weeks on the 2nd, I'll be kind of that week's going to be rough for me. So I'm going to try my best to make sure I'm here with you guys, but I'll let you guys know. I have one of my fighters, Raul Lopez. He's going to be fighting at Texas Fight League, which is a fight organization down here in the Valley. We'll be fighting in Brownsville, Texas. And yeah,
good old TFL, dog.
TFL, baby. Really excited to see him do his work. And I got one of my other students that hit me up that he's going to be out in Albuquerque doing some cool shit with John Jones. So that's another one that's real cool. So I got another one of my guys out there. And yeah, Venom next week. And hopefully bring on a couple people that are going to be new to the show just to kind of guest in and get some really cool conversations. Michael Betancourt got us involved in one of them. So we're trying to in the talks to get them on. So yeah, guys, we'll probably have a really cool Star Wars talk soon, which will be pretty dope. I want to say thank you guys again for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. And thank you guys. You guys hope you have a great week. Brian and Triggs, thank you guys so much too. I appreciate you guys. And to everybody out there, make sure tune in with us next Sunday. We'll be here, Average Boys Podcast, as usual, 8 p.m. to 10:30. I want to say. Well, we went all the way to 11. Goddamn, man, we went long, but it's good. Fucking Venom got us hyped. But guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys again here on the show, the Average Boys Podcast, next Sunday, 8 p.m. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Laters.
Yep.